I go on, let me postulate from the Franz Fanonian dictum, which stipulates that the dialectics of reconciling two conflicting ideas is the algebra of revolution. The overbearing intervention of the state government had further exacerbated oporombium and amounting to sadomasochisms. Acrimony and chaos in our community. It was a contumelious stratagem by political jobbers to siphon monies. We suffer what we call political axivia nunan torum. Conclusively, we are a microcosm of the issues in the Niger Delta in the macrocosm. Today, we as a people are stating, voxe populi, voxe Dei. Today, we as a people are stating, voxe populi, voxe Dei. Today, we as a people are stating, voxe populi, voxe Dei.
John for and I'm womoso. 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 John for and I'm womoso.
So when you come kokoda. Se wo hwe na wani nkum so a coalition center na kobo electoral commission for ho ba ye den eman. Se wani kuma kokoda. Se wo hwe na wani nkum so a coalition center na kobo electoral commission for ho ba ye den eman. Se wani kuma kokoda. Se wo hwe na wani nkum so a coalition center na kobo electoral commission for ho ba ye den eman.
And your name is very fascinating. How do you pronounce it? Say it again.
Kevin. Kevin.
Kevin.
Like Kev in.
I think I got it. Kevin.
Kev in.
We will get it. Don't worry. Your name is very fascinating. How do you pronounce it? Say it again.
Kevin. Kevin.
Kevin.
Like Kev in.
I think I got it. Kevin.
Kev in.
We will get it. Don't worry. Your name is very fascinating. How do you pronounce it? Say it again.
Kevin. Kevin.
Kevin.
Like Kev in.
I think I got it. Kevin.
Kev in.
We will get it. Don't worry. Your name is very...
The NPP cannot be underestimated. You know it, I know it. They've been in existence for a long time and have been changing their names up till this day. The nature of who they are. Listen. Munjir, the nature of who they are, what they are, where they've come from, is something they are happy with, and they will be there for a long time. Let's not mimic their behavior. Let us reach into the principles and the values that emerged out of the circumstances that gave birth to us. And if we can hold onto those principles and those values, we will move way into the future and no one can ever defeat us. We will ride and override any obstacle as we did in the past.
All right, good evening and welcome to With All Due Respect Extended Version. My name is Kevin Excavator Taylor. It's exactly 4:28 p.m. It's definitely 6:08 in Ghana. It's an unusual time for us to be on TV. We are also doing some checks and trying to move the time around a little bit. It's 6:08 p.m. in Ghana. It's 2:08 p.m. in the United States of America, East Coast time. We are streaming live from our studios in Washington, D.C. We are live across the oceans. We are live on TV. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. We're also live on radio tonight. You can watch this show live on Loud Silence TV, on Multi TV tonight. Loud Silence TV on Multi TV. We're also live on YouTube. Our official YouTube page, name is Loud Silence TV. Our YouTube name is Loud Silence TV. Also live on Facebook this evening. On Facebook, search for With Audio Respect page. With Audio Respect page, you will get us live. We're also streaming live on radio tonight. If you have an Android device, go to the Google Play Store, download Loud Silence Radio. You can listen to the show live right now as I speak. We're also live on iOS or on Apple. Go to the App Store and download Loud Silence Radio. It's an unusual time to be live. With All Due Respect Extended Version, my name is Kevin Taylor. And remember, I am an NPP member. Do not forget, I am still an NPP member. So you can address me, Kevin Taylor, the NPP member. It's also very acceptable. So do not get that twisted. I am an NPP member. I'm doing my job as a journalist. I am being factual. I am being neutral. I am trying to criticize people who are not ready to listen to the truth. My job here is to uncover the truth. My job here is to make sure and people who don't want to adhere to the regulations, also people who don't want to be good citizens, people who don't want to respect the rule of law, especially people we pay with the taxpayer or the taxpayer pays. I'm talking about government officials. My job here is to make sure I check them or I put them in check. So there's no hard feelings about what I do. What I do is what I do. And what I do is to make sure you get to know that the truth is very important. My name is Kevin Taylor again. I am an NPP member. I am back on your screens tonight to take care of business. Tonight, we'll be dealing with the president's encounter with the media yesterday. There are a few things that we need to trash out. And it's not really got to do with what the president said yesterday. It's got to do with the narrative some people are trying to put on the president's statement. Some part of the media, especially Multimedia, we all remember Multimedia, Kennedy Japan said that it was established with cocaine money. So we call them the cocaine media. It's becoming one of the outlets where fake news generates, and they have refused to apologize for their consistent publication of fake news in the Ghanaian system. And our job here tonight is to let every single person know that we cannot entertain, we cannot keep allowing media houses to be spreading falsehood in Ghana. In fact, the government is putting a document together to present to Parliament to make sure outlets like Multimedia, that is known for publishing or propagating or putting out fake news, they are checked. And fake news is something very dangerous. It can destroy a nation. It can derail a nation's development. That's why we don't want to let such things slide. My job here tonight is to expose and insist on the right thing being done in Ghana. Tonight, we'll be dealing with so many issues. We'll talk about Galamsey. The president spoke about Galamsey yesterday, and I'd like to say thank you to all journalists who made it to the presidency yesterday. Professionally done. The advice I gave you, majority of you guys, you took it. Straightforward answers, comported yourselves. A few Nicaraguans came in, so things looked very good yesterday. Some of the questions did not really make sense, but hey, as far as you comported yourselves, it's okay. Most of you guys listened to the advice I gave you, and we are moving forward. We are getting somewhere. We are maturing as a nation, and our journalists are also maturing. So it's. I would like to say I really appreciate what you guys did yesterday by listening to Ofosukwachi and listening to Standogbe, sitting. If you need water, you raise your hand, they bring you water, not doing konkonsa, walking up and down, distracting the whole process and the whole event. And I really appreciate what you guys did. Even though there were a few Nicaraguans, If they were there, then we would have known how things would have gone. But Nicaraguans did not make it that much. Next time, we will get a lot of Nicaraguans showing up in the Flagstaff House to ask questions for Nuanoma Santifo, any Nuanoma Sibio Jandamunti MPP Edada Omo. Tonight, we will discuss issues. We will talk about the spin, the Jandam, the wrong narrative. Some journalists, people who call themselves journalists in Ghana, are trying to put on the president's statement when he met the press yesterday. We will talk about Gold Board. We have stories on excavators. We will also, I have one story I will stress on, and it's got to do with a statement, a write-up from my own boss, Erastus Asaridonko. I respect very well, or very much. I will react to his write-up. I believe that the write-up he put out after the president made statements on Galamsey yesterday, I feel my boss, Erastus Asaridonko, was being emotional, not being factual. And sometimes we need to put our emotions aside and deal with the matters. And it's about time I set a record straight. I made my boss understand that as much as I respect him, he also has to be factual and move away from emotional write-ups and emotional outbursts. We can't use emotions to get things done. We always have to be factual. And when it comes to the fight against Galamsey, we all know where it started and where we are. What the government, the past government did, the actions they didn't take, the deliberate involvement of government officials in illegal mining, and what we are seeing under the NDC government. So there should be some rational assessment of the situation. We are supposed to put aside our emotions, how we feel. How we feel is not what is going to basically solve the problem. It's about how we look at a problem and confront it. So I will also react to Erastus Asaridonko's write-up on the president's statement yesterday when he was asked about Galamsey and what the government is doing about it. I wouldn't talk about the Zoom Lion journalist. He's a coward. So there's no need to react to Azuri. He is a Zoom Lion. When people needed journalists to stay in Ghana, he got in the trunk of a car and went to South Africa to hide. Today he's speaking on Galamsey. He has not been on any Galamsey site. He doesn't even understand the difference between illegal mining and small-scale mining. So we don't have to react to such ignorant people. But Erastus Asaridonko has been on the ground. He has been in front of the battle. So we have every right to react to Erastus Asaridonko because he has been an integral one of the main people who have decided to dedicate their journalism to fight illegal mining. So that's why I have chosen to react to Erastus, not to Azuri. Azuri is a coward. He's a fake journalist. You don't have to waste time. He's a Zoom Lion journalist. Without Zoom Lion, he's nobody. All right, thank you very much, team. Can we just do the team? Time no day. Today's show will end exactly 9 p.m. Ghana time. 9 p.m. Ghana time. Inti one musha menyumbre e Ghana nyina no ebo no nkono pepepe Ghana nyumbre a yapon dwumadie no. There's a reason I started show we ended Ghana time 6 p.m. Yeah de bi inti enye surprise no china. You will see us at on 8 Ghana time 8 pepepe, and then starting on Ghana time 6 yeah started Jumadie no. Facebook, so many people watching me tonight. I can see Desmond, Odinke, Kwame Adai, Aisha Bulai, Helen Slame watching me on YouTube this evening. On Facebook, and so one or two people, let me mention their names. Now, so we are off on TikTok. TikTok is off. I think we've gotten a lot of reports from NPP4. So TikTok had no option than to drop the link. TikTok is off tonight. We will come back again on TikTok. On Facebook, Serenity McCarthy is also live on Facebook tonight. Also, Mihu Eye, Atu Eric, Lydia Agbleze is watching me tonight on Facebook. Also, Kingsley Otin is live on Facebook tonight. Mame Arabat France is also live here on Facebook. Francis is watching me. Mame is back again. John Godfred Kofi is live on Facebook this evening. I really appreciate you guys for being here tonight. Thank you very much for joining us on Loud Silence TV. We are in 22 African countries, including Ghana. My name is Kevin Ekobedu. My producers are called the Good Team. Remember, I am an NPP member. Do not forget that. Be a NPP ni mapa. And be the card at show in this TV so na me kasa. Do not think say me a party ni biba me a NPP ni mapa. NPP ni ade wo me NPP na metua me dues amomo NPP na me wo mo card. I'm still a member of the NPP. Me free mu. Just that my already say NPP boni omudino meti omoto se ne be party papa. Na omunye ready so omobeji saade na tumuntina and the omone more problem. But me NPP ni pa. Me problem with NPP now is say omomudi party ni mu no omun impenifo na jimi. And ankwara no so ensue nyansa. And a party ne eya kronfo party omukundi pa esre. And no na me pese omotwe omu firi ho a omonte ase. Enti say ohuminde e wo ha. Na ye Ghana ni na ohweme a. Kevin Taylor NPP de e wo mi mogem. MPP and a Sebio, my party, I'm register first, I'm joining here. Minja MPP no, because MP Kevin Taylor MPP ni obwa, me MPP ni pa, me ka MPP ho. MPP and omo committee na me wo ha me kobi. Me tua dues am ekufu adu edi. Me tua dues Emma MPP Council of Elders omo nyina edi. Enti men yimi free MPP mu. So and obi bo me din bone a e Ghana politics ma. Onka se Kevin Taylor MPP ni Kevin Taylor. Mo bi am fa me nko because me ni NDC card. And I'm in NDC meeting. Kasa bua Ghana ne eye MPP. De me ye nyina e bua Ghana any MPP nya se MPP dream ni boni omudi na meti omoto. Intina meji MPP party no se ne be ya akronfo ndi party nim. That is why I was on the NPP and minja ye me gyina for 42 years. Every so nyame bo me se memra na me mebo ma MPP ejimi fo ne nsakra. Intimi de MPP Yehowa e na maba no. We dwa ye muna ye ntiase by force to force ya wasantini abri me gyina mu. Me de me card achire also for card be chire me gyinem din me gyinem obianti me nyahwe. All right, let's take our business team. Are we good, Mr. P, Mr. S? Are we good? All right, yes, thank you very much. Also okay, all right. We team they say yeah ready a bit to mark and me MPP ni mamu remfi I Inti mo bomi dinya Kevin Taylor MPP ni no. Mamonka Kevin Taylor keke. Emofa MPP ni nso so. Now, there's something we need to be careful about. And it's got to do with Eye Jandam. Now, amanfo bi organ create impression be say only bloggers be vloggers be nipa bi no muti baby a omo ye Jandam. Jandam de emmanuel dangerous. Yeka Jandam a fake news. Platforms propagating fake news, individuals propagating fake news, people who lead fake news are dangerous to every nation. Now, see, I can't fake news are. I don't think say a group of young boys be and young girls be on social media propagating fake news or putting news that is not credible out. No. There are some media houses, I'm friend traditional media houses. They are dangerous and they are leading the charge when it comes to fake news. Putting news out there and you're credible. News, the intentions behind those news, I'm going to say, is to destroy people, malign people, disgrace people, and feel say they basically have destroyed a government, an individual. Into the agenda of such media houses are dangerous. Into Ghana for we need to be very careful. What fake news are? And just small boy be okuta phone, small girl be original TikTok. The traditional media, news media, say what Ghana a bisu carry fake news pa. And a typical example of fake news outlet a Joy News. And opese oma emuye dua a multimedia as a media house. When you talk about fake news in Ghana, about 60% of the fake news or bad news or news are enya no cry yede to abontene no every multimedia neba Asempa FM, Inshira FM, Joy News, sa amono they lead what we call fake news. The reason why we are doing this tonight and I say you didn't catch Ghana for say we are not going to allow what we call Jandam in Ghana. No. Jandam nema Ekufuado tumbedi president. Jandam de tumima ba omia bedi vice president. Jandam ene ma akufo bedi president. Jandam ene me bo nipa etuo ewo Ghana during elections. Jandam ene ma Ghana sika sam say Jandam ntina ende yeda ho ekun den Galamsey. Jandam ntina Ghana sika sam essay ya dollar koduru 17. Jandam any fake news. Any ɛdeɛ nipa bi a wɔn ka no kura wɔn tete TV so no radio so nti ɛna ka Ghana sɛ Ghana amfa tumi ama NDC a anka ekuro ne boy nti we cannot underestimate what we call fake news and Jandam. Now Multimedia Joy News for some time now they have shown say they are the leaders when it comes to fake news propagation. They are the leaders in Ghana when it comes to making sure say they put out Jandam, they put out fake news. And when a news outlet, a credible news outlet like mine, Loud Silence Media, registered in 2012, all the way in 2012, has also been registered in the United States of America, paying our taxes. When a media house like us, when we get it wrong, we come out and apologize because we respect the people who watch us every single day, those who listen to us. Into every credible media house, Biano, when you put out news that is fake, what you do is you quickly retract, come out and apologize to your listeners, your viewers, and the nation that you try to pollute. Now, say Endra na the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, now our Babi shared the media to tell the media so far for 8 or 9 months what his government himself they have been able to do, things they have been able to accomplish, the mess they came to inherit, things they've been able to put in place, and things they are doing to solve problems. Remember, the president met the press yesterday to tell Ghana for what they are doing. They are in the process of doing to help change the mess they came to meet. And you don't get this wrong. The president did not come to meet the media yesterday to tell the media that every mess he and his government came to meet, they have solved it. No. I think we are still in that era whereby we are used to lies. So when we get a president who is honest, blunt, and straightforward with us, now we try to find reasons to force him to lie or spin his statement to sound like a lie. Because for the past 8 years, Baumia Trofo, Ekufuado Trofo, MPP as a political party, every single statement they made was a lie. We were used to being lied to. Now, when we get a president who is honest and blunt and say it as it is and be straightforward with us, we still try to force a narrative on the clean-cut, honest statement the president makes. And internet today, upon all the things the president said, you could see that some people are still trying to pick one out and spin it because they are not used to a president who will not disrespect the intelligence of Ghanaians. They are not used to a president who will stand before the country and be honest about issues. In the Endra, the media encounter president, he came to update. He did not come to tell you, so I solve a problem. He came to update to say, Mom, I'm 4 years, 8 months. I made, this is what I have been able to do. It is the president encounter with the media. The president didn't come to tell you I have finished or completed or solved all problems. The president came to tell you this is what we are doing to eradicate, to stop, to make sure that we sometimes, even at the point, slow down some of the mess we came to inherit. Until you are intelligent to understand that, Assembly President Kan Ndra Biano, you will understand him. But so why didn't do that level now? You would think, say, the president meeting the press, yesterday, was for the president to tell the press, say, in 8 months, I've solved Ghana's problems, all problems. Then you will be a fool. You don't have that intelligence to even sit on radio or TV to say you're a journalist. And these are things that we need to understand. Now, Joy News has become an outlet in Ghana that projects fake news a lot. Before the president met the media yesterday, Joy News, in their quest to try and distract the system, create some kind of dissatisfaction against the president and his government, try and distract Ghanaians from the good work the president was about to talk about. They put out some fake news in the system. Say, Joy News uncovers. They did not say it's coming from Kominini News. They said Joy News, meaning they have done their investigations. They have actually come to a conclusion. They have been able to do all their checks. Because in journalism, you don't come out to say, I have uncovered until you have uncovered. There's nothing like half-baked story. In journalism, you cannot put a story out and say, this is a half-baked story. You don't put half-baked stories out. Anytime you say you have uncovered or you uncovered or Joy News uncovers, it means Joy News, they have actually done their job. They have asked all the relevant questions. They have secured all the relevant documents to prove, say, whatever they are putting out there is the legitimate state facts. And I said the right the information. Until when Joy News comes out, an hour or so, President Ibeka said, Joy News uncovers massive excavator imports into Ghana with late night clearance at Tema Port. And go ahead to do a whole show and have a news segment on it. Then you say, okay, Joy News is a credible news outlet. They have done their investigations. They have interviewed all the important people who are supposed to be interviewed for us to get to the bottom of this. Meaning, Joy News have interviewed Gapoha boss. Joy News, they have interviewed the roads minister. Joy News, they have interviewed the DVLA boss. Joy News, maybe they have even interviewed the lands minister. Joy News has done a thorough job. In fact, they have been able to follow it to the point where they can tell you exactly the number of excavators a free port and their destination. So Joy News Bible, they have uncovered, or Joy News uncovers. It means they have every needed information to prove, say, Joy News is a credible outlet. Now, this is the news they put out. This is Joy News.
Joy News research has uncovered a startling development at Tema Port. Massive excavator clearances happening mostly under the cover of night. Insiders confirm that the bulk of these machines slip out when public attention is low. This revelation comes less than 24 hours after the Ghana Water Company Limited and Greco made a passionate case for significant tariff hikes, blaming the devastating impact of illegal mining on their operations. Our further probe into the global OEC trade database reveals an even more shocking trend. Excavators have now climbed into Ghana's top 10 imports, with China leading as the biggest exporter. Well, join me now in the studio is Joy News' lead data analyst, Isaac Ofieje, just to break down what exactly we're finding. This is shocking.
Yeah, indeed. In fact, this is what we are getting from our sources, and this is very, very reliable source that we are working with, looking at the number of excavators at the Tema Port and as well the clearance. We understand that there's a policy called no tracker, no movement. Although this is in force, we still see massive excavators leaving, the port. And the latest we are getting in terms of the Tema Port, the Jubilee, and all of the other ports is that because of the choking nature of the number of excavators at the port, now some of them are being moved to a safe haven, which questions are being asked about the security of this excavators and where they may end up, especially looking at the templates where some 5 or 6 years ago during the Stop Galamsey fight, we saw excavators being confiscated, kept at one point, and at a time we all went to check and then they were nowhere to be found. But what makes this shocking is the fact that if you look at the OEC data that we've been tracking since morning, it makes it, currently Ghana is the #1 importer of excavators in West Africa.
And this is shocking because as far back as June, government told us that they had placed a ban on the importation of excavators. Yep. And that is not what we're seeing on the grounds, is it?
Well, the data shows that, and per what we are learning from the port, even as of 27th, August, excavators were cleared from the port, and we have evidence to actually show that. And in fact, if you look at the numbers that I was talking about, Ghana now is the #1 importer of excavators.
So this is Joy News report. A lady came to sit on TV, nicely dressed, beautiful wig, nice spectacles, tiny nose, Pinocchio, brings on another journalist. Now you ask yourself, the report and the caption and the things they were saying on live TV, they were talking about two things. Now, their own caption says, the Joy News uncovers massive excavator imports into Ghana with late night clearance at Tema Port. And when the lady was introducing, the show, in fact, when she was speaking on this particular subject, she said that they have uncovered, they have done their job, their sources, whatever they have done, point to the fact, say, excavators at the port are being taken at night away to unknown sources. Meaning, some people under the cover of Esumuno, excavator, now they are reporting on two things. They are talking about import or excavator importation. Ghana leading in Africa. That is one thing. You don't get it twisted. They are contradicting themselves in the report. The main reason why they put that news out was that they were trying to create the impression, say, Abino area excavators from Temaport and taking them at night to some places. Now, when you listen to them on the show, they are also talking about excavator import and where Ghana. So what here reporting here, can say the excavators were being moved at night after a Gridco and Gridco and Netco, right? Gridco and Ghana Water came out to say they needed PURC to increase tariffs on water and electricity. And remember, when you are listening to news, so Jandam Noah, the timelines are very important. Uti a story na nomokano. Almost say after a Netco, Gridco, any Ghana Water, a release statement say they want PURC ever to insume any kaniemuno. A ho and uncle for a status say omochi excavator every port. So they are saying, say, because such statement in every Ghana Water any grid could call it a buy, and then a ma abaimu nipa estadi say omuria excavator and a because Gridco and especially Ghana Water Company were saying, say, in Sodenia say, into more money to desilt the water, and I say, clean the water for us to get clean drinking water to drink. Inti, and then a ma abino estati say, excavators now be good port, no start area. So the report, don't get it twisted. They were weaving the report in a way, someone tenasientia, obagin some kind of credit, but they were lying. Now, so would see reports na or buy one of a station hall kana. Maybe so she stressed to say after Gridco, any water company, Ghana Water Company, ever out, and a month for a buy move for NDC a buy nipa for started to say almost chi excavators no every port. Listen.
News research has uncovered a startling development at Tema Port. Massive excavator clearances happening mostly under the cover of night. Insiders confirm that the bulk of these machines slip out when public attention is low. This revelation comes less than 24 hours after the Ghana Water Company Limited and Gridco made a passionate case for significant tariff hikes, blaming the deficit.
And the omunsa akosia semiso ayasama emu adwerem. Na de mania won nyina say, eye excavators a good port no, anadwo bia no amanfo astati ewia twifam, abra nipa ani ni ho. Na de masade we nyina siye ne say, eye Ghana Water Company ene Gridco e de asembeto abontene ka kire Ghana for say, yentu eye de insuom ene kane amu efiri so obehia sika e de ati nsuo nani ama Ghana for anum supa. In terms of adikudi ntia nkofo area excavator anadwofa abra ye nyina ada no efiri say Gridco ene Ghana Water Company ebe ka kire Ghana for say yentum inti sa excavator na omuwia no, it was because of that. And na omutwifem if you say yebehu se excavator bebre egu port wa Ghana for beka say Galamsey ne kosopa and intina insureni say this is joy news. So you saw how they linked the Jandam. They linked the Jandam by saying say Gridco Ghana Water a release statement. Secondly, because of that statement, it incophobia area excavators every port under anadwofa abrayada and almost side back over tariff. Oh, Ghana na isia oba Africa yen import excavators pa. Let me tell you for a fact, as much as you import excavators pa Ghana no, our neighboring countries, majority of them, they import earth moving machines through Ghana. Near to Kroma and Burkina Faso, obe move a lot of equipment through Ghana ports. Into say what say computer nim na oh yeah statistics na all these earth moving equipment efa Ghana, Eco Burkina, efa Ghana, Eco Ivory Coast, no, it is considered said their final destination is Ghana. Ghana will be classified as a country. All these excavators because that is their final destination. So almost ship excavator, and I am not holding brief for anybody. I want you to understand. Say Obi Junaka say Ghana pioneer cra excavators pa chain baby our Africa. You need to understand. Say enye Ghana nkwa ena nyoma baha. Nyoma bia eba Ghana port no about 30% of those goods no they go to our neighboring countries. Togo ekra excavators through Ghana. Some people in Togo they do that. Some people in Burkina Faso they do that. Some people in Ivory Coast. So do not sit and say there is a number that says Ghana and the excavators party and the NDC excavators Ghana. No, the final destination might be Ghana, but the owners and also the people or the importers might be from Burkina Faso. So they are using Ghana as a transit point. But they will declare on paper, say Ghana and the final destination of that excavator. But that is just by the way. Now, Jandam nanko for we and in some of before the president met the media. Because of Joy News, a very dangerous outlet. So Ghana best say Joy News na best say Ghana. Multimedia betuma say Ghana. Now, omuka sansen we in the archives, the news say a few months ago, by August, na Ghana Port and Harbour Authority releases statement, official statement, and the statement Joy News for they have it. This statement was released on the 22nd of August 2025. And what was it about? This is a news outlet. Omokacho said they are credible news outlet. They do their checks, they are investigators, they are lying, they don't do anything. It is built out of Jandam. Now, August 22nd, 2025, Gapoha, Ghana Port and Harbour, releases statement. Evacuation of excavators from the ports of Tema to military installation. The government of Ghana, in collaboration with the relevant security and regulatory agencies, has authorized the evacuation of all excavators from the port of Tema to designated military installations at Tema, Shai Hills, and Accra. Now, the second paragraph says the directive forms part of a national effort to regulate the importation of excavators and to ensure the safe custody of such equipment until they are duly cleared by their respective owners. The exercise will also facilitate the decongestion of the Tema port or the port to create additional capacity. Now, Gapoa Kosaka say all consignees and their licensed agents are hereby informed that 1. The established customs clearance procedures at the port remains in force. 2. Upon completion of clearance formalities, consignees will be directed to take delivery of their equipment from the designated military installations, together with custody charges shall be borne strictly by the consignee. Now, stakeholders are likely advised to take note of this directive and comply accordingly. The cooperation of all concerned is solicited in the interests of national security and trade facilitation. In the August 22nd, afiwe, and Gapoa de krata beto abontene say, and it's so funny say, Joy News reported on this matter. Multimedia, Omuchi, Omu English, Omu DNDN, all their platforms reported on this matter. So they knew or they know, say, the ministry through the Ghana Port and Harbour Authority, they have been moving almost 30 move excavators, echo 3 different military installations, Shai Hills, Bema Camp, and Tema, and Accra. They know it. It's on some file. They could have just gone on their into your system and just check and say, has there even been anything like this? But the Omuya deliberate because say the government is working, the president is working, and the president is going to deliver. They wanted to bring a Galamsey Jandam in the system. Now, a distracted system, no. But almost a document to a desk, so news editors, but they went ahead and came out and said, a man will be area excavator. In fact, the minister in charge of transport, he actually called Joy News after they put that out and said, what you people are saying is a lie. The minister, or you're in charge of transport, respectfully, of Fred Joy News, office. In fact, you guys are putting some things out there. Jandam, it is wrong. Mr. Get me the minister's video. And the minister was clear enough and told them, we are not stealing any excavators. You people actually published the notice from Kapoha in August 22nd. All that we are doing is in line with whatever we put out there. So how can a media house like Joy News just come out and put a clown on TV and say somebody is stealing excavators? Because Joy News for agenda say right now, MPP, they are falling out with them. They want some red meat to give to the MPP. They know, the government is working. They know, the government is delivering. So they try to find another means. Mr. S, get me the video. It's not on the system. I'm trying to find it. I thought you added it to the videos you sent. It's not here. So please try and get me the video. You get what I mean? What is this whole thing of a whole media house? And you know the funny thing about this whole thing, Mr. S, can you get me the video? I think I am okay. Thank you, team. Thank you. No, is that a video? No, I need the ministers. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. S. I have it now. I will play it right now. Thank you. So my team brought the video. Now, I was here to say, I did not join News here, and they are dangerous. They are fighting a government that is fighting illegal mining. A whole media house is now fighting a government that is honestly and dedicated to fight illegal mining. No? Joy News is now fighting the NDC government. This is the minister, transport minister, clarifying the issues.
The past months, we've been working hard to see how we will also, as a ministry, support the fight against illegal mining. So the president's directives were that we should put a ban on the importation of some earth-moving equipment. Others prefer to call them excavators. Now, we have done that for some time, and the port, if you go to the Tema port today, you will see that the port is congested with nothing but excavators. So the decision we took was to evacuate all those excavators from the Tema port to some military installations. For instance, Michel Camp, Bema Camp, the Teshe Camp, 49 Engineer Regiment, so that we can have the port decongested to do business. So if you hear from the media or if you see in the media space that excavators are being moved in the port, it is just that we are moving them or we are decongesting the port. But if you visit all the military installations I've mentioned, you will see that we have moved all those excavators to the military camps. Mind you that our port services are supposed to run, or we are now running our port services 24 hours. So at all times, if you go to the Tema port today, work is going on. So the excavators, some are being evacuated in the night, others are being evacuated during the daytime. The good news is that all of them are in the military installations we are talking about. So if somebody has seen excavators being moved from the Tema port, it is just that we want to decongest the port, and we have space in the military camps. That's where we have arranged with the military to give us space to move those excavators.
It's simple as that. It's so simple. And it's so funny, say, this same Joy News, they have the notice as far back as in August. So, dear Nebema Joy News, I and I say about 2 or 3 hours our president share media no almost fake news with better system. And you know what hurts in all this? They have wronged Ghanaians. They have propagated fake news. They have gone against the ethics of journalism. Instead of Joy News apologizing to Ghanaians, they are still foolishly sitting on TV trying to make sense out of their stupidity. Joy News was supposed to release an apology to the whole Ghana and people who are not even in Ghana watching them on multi-TV. But what do we see? Adiachi and these idiots, TV so pretending and acting to say the fake news, they are basically spearheading. In fact, in Ghana today, open media house can news also double check it or verify is Joy News. Because you see, the agenda is all about the money they will make. They are not making the numbers. They are struggling. People don't want to do business with them again. So what they are trying to do now is that they are trying to do bloggers' job. They are trying to put a lot of fake news in the system to be able to beat their competitors. The reason why their competitors like Media General are doing better is because Media General is verifying their stories. They are fact-checking themselves before they put stuff out. But Joy News, on the other hand, the Omoyane say, because Joy News is collapsing, because they don't have any credibility, because what we call news, gathering news and making sure they are factual, no, they don't want to follow because they think it's about competition and not authenticity or putting out facts, no. They have resorted to fake news peddling because they have different platforms. Now, you are a media house, where chatro, when didn't create, and then nobody trusts Joy News. What do? Even CNN and the BBC, you people are imitating in Ghana. You sit on radio. Those people, when they make mistakes, those people, when they put news out that is not accurate, they eat the humble pie and apologize. So what are we seeing now in Ghana? The same fake news outlets, Joy News, today they are out there trying to tell us that we should listen to them. And to say, Joy News in Peniforo was the news editors, those sitting and presenting the news, so many no more credibility kakra. And if they have some ideas, some journalism with credibility, they will be pressurizing their bosses. Said the news outlet, Joy News or Multimedia, needs to put a statement out, an apology. Apologize to every single Ghanaian, Sebio or your viewer, because you cannot make such a very silly mistake. Misinform the people. Or dada nipano de fake news to abontene, then you expect the people to trust you tomorrow. No. So Joy News, they need to apologize to Ghanaians. They need to apologize to Ghanaians. The disrespect is too much. The stupidity and foolishness. Joy News exhibit or Ghana, no, it is getting out of hand. And they are now spearheading. Right now, they are fighting the government because they know the government is fighting Galamsey. And right now, what they are going to do, they say, now we are going to put fake news out. You be trying to track to government, so send your MPP, will find a way to make a propaganda out of it. But it didn't work. Jandam is dead. But it does not end here. Because we are in a country where every day news is bad. So you check Joy News. You fact check you for some more apologize here. This evening, they will come out with the news. 90% of the news will be fake news. Or they will come again and come and tell you Asama, about take a decision. Nobody can trust Joy News again. Nobody can trust Multimedia again. How can any reasonable Ghanaian trust Multimedia? Because Bonnie Omaya and the crowd when you're ready to say, Omobaba Bontabe patch or say, Yanya, you go win mercy. Where the time. This is not journalism. This is despicable. We don't deserve to be called the news outlet that is credible. Put out a statement. Apologize to Ghanaians. The disrespect. The highest level of disrespect they are even showing after they were caught pants down that they were peddling falsehood. So I just don't get it. How are people like people sit on Joy News to think say they are intelligent and that whatever Joy News says, and then the majority of Ghanaians will trust Loud Silence Media. They will trust TV3 or Media General than Multi-TV, than Joy News. Why should I try Joy News? Why should I trust Joy News? I didn't think Ghana had been trusted Joy News because Joy News is the fake news. Why should I watch Joy News? Abra Media General Abra TV3, omye mistaker, ombe apologize. Abra TV3, and him say the ethics of the job. Nature say, or report TBB, na say we nyana writer. You have to come back and apologize. Abra TV3, they have done it several times, and their credibility is still intact. Why is Joy failing to do that? Because Joy FM has no credibility. Joy News has no credibility, and that is what you have been living with. And these people, Joy News. So what's the deal? Every potential political criminal, they start their political career from Joy News. Go back and check. Political lawyers who are involved in scandals. They start from Joy News because that is where they groom political criminals. Potential political criminals. Today, Poladomoch to Joy News. Basa Poladomoch or Nwankasa TV show. Poladomoch catcher say Metro TV, no, they don't allow Jandam on Metro Good Morning. And he will not go and say, Assembly or can show, so we got kind Metro TV show. So into right now, no, Poladomoch no say or show a credible, no, or no moment in Namunko for show so and all contribute. Meaning he is trying to clean himself. And that is what Joy News Omo Boa Akronfo are in the name of Wesha Space, they clean criminals up. It's a criminal cleaning laundry. That is where they go for the bleaching. In Ghana, people who are involved in political criminality, they go to Joy News to be bleached. Because ubenya kwasiebi emana protect you, defend you. Go back into history. Obia oya involved in Ghana politics, bia oya chromophobia na our media background bia for Joy News. It is not new to Joy News. This is what they have been doing for years. Hey, lawyers are among kind of crowd Ghana. Sankuma and Joy News. Sankuma Joy News. Sankuma. It was Joy News. Sankuma to Joy News or to News File. Now or a lawyer to Akron 4 and so not or the same case or Tesono. Now or case in one some. Sankuma. Sankuma made Joy News made Sankuma who he is because they always try and find potential criminals and help. Kojo Ponkroma and Joy News no free. There are so many of them I can mention. Don't underestimate the damage Joy News is doing to Ghana. They need to apologize. We are insisting. We demand an apology. They need to apologize to Ghanaians. I don't even care about the government because the government and what Ghana for. It's not about the government. It's about the people who listen to Joy News. They need to apologize to Ghanaians. They need to come and sit on TV for 20 minutes and apologize for the fake news that they put out. Joy News is fake news. Canada Japan say Joy News a cocaine can ever seen there. Joy News can some court ever seen the mutumin koye. You know why? Because ebiana de Canada Japan can no credit. Say nipa na or T Joy News no or the cocaine can see. So everything about Joy News is criminal. We are still waiting. Joy News, they need to come out and apologize for putting out fake news. Very important. Now, we're going to go to the next story, and it's got to do with the president meeting the media yesterday. Let's listen to the president of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama. Now, here I will react to Miankasa, me news editor, Erastus Asaridonko. Abe write up team with Facebook, and I feel, say, from all his experience and the work he has done on the ground, covering Galamsey stories, you know, when I read the write-up, I realized he was more emotional. He wasn't factual. And until he puts his emotions aside, he will understand, what the president said yesterday. No president in the Republic of Ghana is willing. The willingness is there, and we are seeing glimpses of it. Maybe he does not see it that way. It does not mean that the government isn't working or fighting illegal mining. This is the president of the Republic of Ghana.
Well, expected, or I never deluded myself that the fight against illegal gold mining or Galamsey was going to be an event. I mean, definitely, there's no magic wand. The decay has eaten so much over the last 8 years that it's going to take a lot of work to be able to overcome it. And I didn't expect that in 18 months we would declare victory in the fight. As the livelihoods of about 4 million Ghanaians is on small-scale mining. And so it's going to be a process. It's not going to be an event. But we will not give up. We have a determination to get on top of it. The Gold Board was introduced as part of reforms. And if the Gold Board was not introduced, those who were taking the profits from the small-scale mining sector were the foreign traders who were taking that money away. In 6 months, we have exported over $6 billion. About $4 billion of that money was going to go into the private or foreign traders. And so the first thing is, you shut the stable door so that the horse doesn't escape, which is what we've done. So if it's from illegal sources, it's from legal sources. At least it's our land that is being destroyed. So let us get the benefit of it instead of foreign traders. So that's the first thing. But if you go and read the Gold Board law, it has a requirement for tracking and tracing. And as I speak, the Gold Board is working with an organization to put on a track and trace system. And so they're going to see those who have legitimate license requirements so that they can assist them in responsible mining, so that we can buy that gold off them. Once we do tracking and tracing, it's in our interest, because then we can export under LBMA, and we'll get more profit from exporting under LBMA. So the Gold Board is not just about buying gold, it's also about financing responsible small-scale mining. And mind you, small-scale mining is not illegal in this country. It's provided for in our laws. It's just that in many cases, we've not even trained the miners about what responsible mining is. You just see anybody who gets an excavator just goes anywhere and starts digging and washing. But small-scale mining takes place in Australia. It takes place in Canada. And so as I speak, we are organizing a trip for the Small-Scale Miners Association to Australia. Australia has given us an invitation to bring them to come and see how small-scale mining is done without destroying the environment. And so that's something we're going to take an advantage of. And the Gold Board is leading, and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources are leading that charge. Only recently, our Minister for Lands and Natural Resources came back from Australia. And so we need to train these small-scale miners. The gold is a blessing that God gave us. It's a natural resource that God gave us to make life better for our people. It's just that the way and manner in which we are going about it is causing destruction to the environment. But it is the result of an increase in the gold price. And if you've read widely, you find that the same thing is happening in Peru. It's happening in several other countries because of the heightened gold price. And so for whatever little gold you're able to find, you get more money. Galamsey was not a problem when gold was $2,000 per ounce. But today, gold is pushing $3,600 per ounce. And because of the lack of jobs, jobless growth for several decades, there are a lot of young people who are coming out of school who have no job work to do. And so for them, that is the only livelihood. And so we must not think just about chasing them all over the place without providing alternatives for them. Because the alternative is that they should stay home and starve or go out and do something deviant. And that's why we came up with the cooperative mining concept, for which we recently lost our colleagues. They were going to launch it, the first of its kind in Anglo, because one of the things we said was that we're going to let the big mining companies seed off some of their concessions. Some of them have 400, 500 miles square. And there's gold in some parts of those concessions that they will never mine because the grams per ton of ore is so low. But yet, if you put a small-scale miner there, he can mine it effectively. And so we've discussed with them, and they've all agreed. And so Anglo Ashanti was the first. They've cut a part of the concession, and that is what Omani and Murtala and Co. are going to launch, cooperative mining, so that we'll move the small-scale miners from the forest reserves where they are causing destruction and settle them on the concessions where the big mining companies have seeded. As I speak, Newmont has demarcated an area for these small-scale miners. And we have asked the big companies to mentor them and supervise them and make sure they do the right thing. So that was going to be an alternative for moving them out of the forest and other places so that they can mine under the supervision of those companies. And that's where our colleagues were going when the helicopter crashed. And so it's a program that we're going to continue so that we can give them an alternative, not just go chase them around without finding something else for them to do.
So that was the president, and we all heard him. Gold, a Ghana Japadier, and Okasano say, I'm not here to lie to anybody because we're president of Ghana or a Ghanani or Nyakora. Or say no, him said the fight against Galamsey wasn't going to be easy. Inti Oba no say ekono ebedin because for the past 8 years Jirima na osha na ekoso it wasn't going to be a walk in the park. But then this man, when he was speaking Endrano, he did not blame anybody. He told Ghana for say, "Dear ye be ye ana ye edia boa ama galamsey no akofom no ena aban eye na okasa no okanse bebre." In fact, menolti aye kase nipa wotwe a omne helicopter koto fom no, it was the fight against Galamsey. Enti no muko wuye. Nipa wotwe. Enti that alone should tell you that the government, the willingness of the government is there. The willingness is there. Why Tina Aban with the gold board by? There is a reason why gold board was established. Gold board was not established just to do what? To buy gold and sell or whatever. Gold board was established to make sure, say, obe protect your gold, and also make sure, say, people don't take advantage of that and destroy our water bodies. There are measures. Gold board, as time goes on, they are going to what? Implement through the Ministry of Land and make sure, say, time air cost na emrano ye jumano, then we start to get the good out of the bad. The president never came to pretend and speak grammar. Am I gonna be arguing and say, Obekambro for there? He was blunt and straightforward. In fact, before I make Erastus Asaridonko write up on the president made statement when it comes to the fight against Galamsey. 8 months against 8 years. But the reason why I don't want us to even think about Kufuor's 8 years and then say, John Mahama and Aban, they are not looking at the damage that has been done. They are looking at the way they would solve the damage, the problem that has been caused. In Tandra's OTA president now, you never heard a president who was saying naysayers. You never heard a president who was saying my predecessor. You never heard a president who was saying and this was done. You had a president who was positive, progressive. This is what we are doing. Now, these are some of the things President Rekan wants them, things they are doing about Galamsey or solving.
Additionally, in the extractive sector, the Gold Board is formalizing Ghana's gold trade. As of today, gold trading is a reserve for only Ghanaians. This strategic move will help maximize national benefits, enhance transparency, and ensure that the wealth generated from our natural resources is reinvested in our communities and national development. We're also taking decisive action to protect our environment and natural resources from destruction. A dedicated national task force is currently in place, actively combating the menace of illegal mining. As a result of their operations, hundreds of excavators, water pumps, and other heavy equipment have been seized, disrupting the networks that have long exploited our lands and our rivers. In addition to enforcement, we are reclaiming what has been lost. 9 forest reserves have been successfully recovered from the grip of illegal miners, restoring these vital ecosystems under state protection. Our Tree for Life initiative is being actively rolled out across the country, targeting the restoration of lands degraded by illegal mining activities. Steps are currently underway to repeal LI 2462 to formalize our commitment to end mining in forest reserves. Let me be clear, since my administration resumed office, not a single license has been issued to any company to mine in our forest reserves. The repeal of LI 2462 is therefore intended just to crystallize in law what we have already demonstrated in practice, which is our commitment to protect these forest reserves.
Such statement our president can't win. The people who are contesting the president's statement, nobody has been able to say, since John Mahama the president will issue one license amani pebi or Ghana. These are things you need to look. Nabutan say, is the president willing? Omo beje license and omo Ghana in the name of Yekuta license, but omo ye Galamsey no. President we buy almost 9 months ni Oma ubia license. He was emphatic. More problem with the president's statement, and I'll go to Erastus Asaridonko's write-up. That's what I'm saying. So the write-up now was out of emotions, but facts, he missed it. Because maybe he's pained about something. When you're pained about something, we understand. But when it comes to the facts are the facts. Now the president said, under his leadership, obedi abaimu on releasing one license Emma Obia Wagana, meaning Odinkaka semi also so pese a ponkono eka buonima to buonim. Some pese ponkono ka e buonima to a buonim. So he has closed Eden sa ponko buono. Now we have to deal with what is in the buo. Because Saun dealing what is in the bua, you can't open that door for more ponko to enter or for more ponko to exit. Inti president say, "Some person ponko no ka ebuo nim a, e wo so ye den udin ka to ebuo nim." Into obaye no, ade a friend license obi beji aka say make a small scale mining, and so at the end of the day, and the chairman want to now end up doing illegal mining. No, he has stopped it for now. Nobody is taking license. And I was expecting you people to go out and say that is the beginning of fighting illegal mining in Ghana. Because it was people getting access to a lot of license and going out there in the name of me having a license and practicing the illegality. So now we are going to take our time and look within those who have been issued license before we move forward. Into John Mahama by 9 months, what to a buonim or see the way buonim, we need to clean the buo. After that, we can open that a buono for us to get some in or get some out. So, as a journalist like Donko, you have been on the ground more than I have been. You have first-class experience of what is happening on the ground. For the past 8 years, you have been on the ground, so you know. So for a president to even come and say 8 months or 9 months, license, that should give you confidence. It should tell you that the willingness is there. It is not rhetoric. President Tekasendran or say, they have set up blue water guard and you're going to say payday. Near Waha, and ye baby, gala stop near the. The president said, they are even going to add 2,000 more to just protect the water bodies, patrolling on just the waters. At least somebody would see water guards, blue water guards on the rivers and stay away a little bit. It is a way of fighting it. Now, the president spoke about a ban on the importation of excavators for Galamsey. As we speak today, the reason why Okotema port and installations excavators it was all because people who are doing illegal mining cannot come forward and claim ownership of excavators or Makra. The staple, John Mahama said, "Tubuonim." Until we need to make sure we take care of what is in the buo. Until for a government. For 8 years, and the Kufuado, yan tu ebuo biamu. Yan stopping the importation of excavators. Yan tracking excavator biamu. This government has the will. The willingness is there. And that is the most important thing, the willingness. So, abide banners or stop it, the license, issuing of license, mining license, then abide you're ready to deal with the matter. Let's put our emotions aside. The nipa bia catch there, nyome bia na especially the people come man can't. Let's put it aside and look at the facts. The president spoke about establishing gold board to streamline gold purchase. And the gold board aba omojuma the saying. Omo de emra bebre abehye ho. De emra nom de ahye na beye. Apart from gold board inkwa ebeto Ghana gold every Ghana for abe Ghana for dia no. Osa de emra to send beye omo a omofa koti kwan so aye Galamsey se omo beton eye gold na ma eye den abontenefo no omo so dwumedie ne yebegu no. That is gold board ne dwuma omo bedi no omo di. It does not take a day, a month, 2 months, 8 months to do that. It is a gradual thing. The government has put things in place. The government is basically tuning the system. Into gold board this one, it's not just to purchase gold. The gold board there is to protect your gold, and to make sure it protects our environment. How is it doing it? People now need license to be able to purchase gold on our market. Meaning, we will not get any black gold or blood gold or gold from what we call child labor or illegal mining gold. And as time goes on, all these people buying illegal gold and people dealing in illegal gold, they will fade out because there will not be a market ready to buy their fake gold. When I say fake gold, gold that wasn't mined legally. The fact of the case is that the government is willing. And I am saying this because of Erastus Asaridonko, the write-up. Erastus, without due respect, on the extreme journalism, on my first assignment, on the extreme said, this is what you say, this is what you do. And I am very privileged to speak on his write-up when my boss gets something wrong. Now, The president also talked about plan to repeal LI. Near Tikromha, and all our forests was taken over by illegal mining. And the Minowoka say all the forests are Ghana and they are buying Asaj in the back. President Krakasa na one through or see 2B Galamsey for Sakofa Tuno, Emma Omo to Tunyama say, Omudi soldier for Kwako just assassin. The president was real with us. Obian Kowaka se men kasa ade no hwasem. Mame ko kancha Ghana for say yaje assassin nyina forest nya be die ho. But o say no. De yaje ani nyina na chi no. 2B Galamsey for say urum enso ye yenwo dwuma se beje. The president is being blunt, open and transparent. What do you want the president to do? The president was making you understand the situation on the ground. The LI 2462, the president is 62. The president is making sure say Obiani Obera any forest in Ghana. I thought that was what we have been screaming about for years. Now let's go to Erastus Asaridonko. The right up no. Na afei men chewa debi. You see the right up. The reason why I have an issue with Erastus right up and I say the right up now Erastus Troy, it is all about emotions. And he basically refused to address the matter factually. And that is where I have a problem with Erastus Asaridonko. Now, so some part of his write-up or say, the president did not inspire hope and urgency in the fight against Galamsey. I don't really know what you want the president to do. Maybe you wanted him to slang. You wanted the president to say he has put his presidency on the line. You want the president to just use some jargons. He's not going to do that. The president is going to be blunt with you. He's going to speak to you as a normal human being. He's going to give you the report, what is on the ground. So the urgency, I don't know whether you want the president to open his flap and take his dick out and say, this is my dick. No. The sense of urgency is the work being put in what they are doing. And the results are showing. Now, he watered down on a very precarious situation just as he has done always. The president never. President Mahama won't water down anything. From the beginning of his statement, he said he never underestimated the fight against Galamsey. So you are not being factual. You are being too emotional. You are being too emotional because you feel, say, why you're Juma as a reporter and some things have to be done in a certain way, a certain period. It doesn't work like that. We recognize your work. That is why Mianka Samna now 2472 Ebo Abaso. But the way you want things to be done, when it comes to fighting a menace like Galamsey, it cannot be done at your pace. Galamsey should be strategically fought. You have to be technically smart. You reporting on Galamsey is different from somebody who is going to make implementations and taking decisions to stop it. Reporting on it is different from trying to stop it. Into your work and the work of the government is a totally different thing. As much as we appreciate you reporting on Galamsey, the people who are supposed to make sure they put their embra together to make it work, to stop it, it's a totally different thing. We all can comment on soccer. We can all comment on Black Stars. But not all of us can stand in the middle like Sibo and turn the game around. We can't. You being a reporter, I respect it. We all respect it. But when it comes to application of laws, because, and that would mean, sorry, boom, no, this is governance. You need to look out for the people. You need to look out for also their interest. You also need to understand and respect the law. You reporting on it does not mean that the way you report on it, which to you and to us, we respect and admire, it is not the same way when you want to do what? Fight it. When you are fighting Galamsey, you fight by using the law to fight it. And that is the part that my boss Erastus, you are missing. You are missing that point. You are becoming too emotional. Instead of you looking at things realistically, the president was being realistic. And I can tell you on authority, the president has never, when you say that precarious situation, just as he has done always, the president, since he became president, he has never defended any Galamsey activity in Ghana. So it would be better for you to retract and apologize to the president on that statement. When Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo the president, he did not even admit to say Galamsey Koso. He never admitted. Even when Chairman Wuntumi was into illegal mining, the Minerals Commission came out to issue a statement that a guy is mining without a license which is not legit. Nana Akufo-Addo in front of Ghanaians never admitted Chairman Wuntumi was into illegal mining. So when you make such a statement, Mr. Erastus, you are being too emotional. Let the emotions go down and look at the issues realistically. Team, Now, my mentor Erastus statement in so. And my team this member went to our entry when I mentor Erastus. This is a Kufuado when he was addressing the issue of Galamsey. And you want to say President Mahama. Where did President Mahama stand to defend or make it look like he's defending illegal mining? This is a Kufuado. A Kufuado.
Before I take my seat, let me respond briefly to the chairperson on the issue of illegal mining. I want to assure him and all of you that Akonta Mining is not engaged in any illegal mining anywhere in Ghana as we speak. Him and all of you that Akonta Mining is not engaged in any illegal mining anywhere in Ghana as we speak.
This is the president, the Kufuado. Abrana wo Erastus, wako Akonta Mining site. While follow up, Ako recover documents to prove say Chairman to me is doing Galamsey. The president stood on national television. You want to compare this to John Mahama? When did you ever hear Mahama defend anybody when it comes to illegal mining in Ghana? You need to apologize to the president. I am very ashamed that you of all people, you lower the standard this way. You are lowering the standard. You are too emotional about the issues. I understand what you have gone through. Metia, and with all due respect, over America, out of respect, you paid me a visit. We talked passionately about how you want things to change, how you want to fight illegal mining through your reporting. I know, at a point, these same people, they threatened to kill you and your children and your wife. You even had to find a way to leave the country. These things all you went through, so I understand your emotions when it comes to Galamsey. But emotions does not solve issues. We are talking about real issues the president is presenting before you. You are getting it wrong here, my boss. You are getting it wrong. And this, I was shocked when I read your write-up. 90% of the write-up is all emotions. There's nothing factual about what you are saying. And a lot of speculations. At your level, you don't speculate. At your level, when it comes to speaking on Galamsey or illegal mining in Ghana, you are not supposed to speculate. I'll point it out to you where you were speculating. I want to fight illegal mining. I want Galamsey to stop. We all need to do our part. We are not supposed to be speculative. We are not supposed to be emotional. We are supposed to be factual. We need to look at the issues because it is only laws that can fight Galamsey, not emotions. I totally disagree with him on the withdrawal of IGP's men and accusing them of not knowing the difference between legal small-scale miners and illegal miners. The president never accused the IGP. He never accused the police. That's why I'm saying sometimes you need to take a breath. Take some breathing exercise. The emotions are too much. In the president's statement, he said there was too much confrontation between the police and some of the people involved in illegal mining. And he believed that it would be better that the police are withdrawn because when it comes to illegal mining, the way it is sophisticated, the line between legal mining, legal small-scale mining, and illegal small-scale mining or illegal mining is very light and very tiny. Even you reporting on the ground, sometimes you go to some sites, you cannot differentiate between illegal mining and legal mining. The only way you are able to differentiate is that, oh, this one is going into the river. But somebody might not be mining and then everything going into the river, but they are still doing illegal mining. So when the president says we are pulling the police, because maybe the police sometimes, they misunderstand the whole situation. The president never accused the police of doing anything. Sometimes we need to choose our words well. We need to choose our words well. We need to respect office. As much as we are journalists, we have the voice. We need to be very careful the way we put things out because that is what destroys or make. Now, you go on to say this. That is totally fallacy. That is total fallacy. It shows that it's either the president was ill-briefed about the situation in the ground or he was totally clueless of what happens on the ground. I am surprised at your level at your level as a journalist, you are using such words. I'm very surprised. I am very surprised. Maybe you are on a route to embarrass the president to make you look good. But you clearly know that what you are talking about here, the president of the republic, in his opening speech, he made Ghanaians understand what the government is doing about illegal mining. Now, when you made this statement, you were never able to prove that the president was lying or the president was deliberately or he was misinformed or he was not briefed well. You just made a statement, a flat statement, and walked. When somebody makes a statement like that about you, oh, Erastus Asarodonko, or Kosai TB, and Okokava Galamsey, and Erastus Jessica, you'll be pissed off. Because you wouldn't want anybody to even think, say, what Kosai TB Akojisiska, until you come quickly on TV and say, no, that is my credibility, that is my name. This never happened. This is the president of the republic. He made Ghanaians understand. He made Ghanaians understand the air cost so any the omoye against the fight against Galamsey. So for you to just come and use such statement, it's a total disrespect to the president. Total disrespect. And I know at this point, if you want the president's attention, if you go to Jubilee House and you want to meet the president because of the work you have done, this president I know will give you every room. So you don't disrespect the president in your write-up out of emotions. You don't do that. Whatever you need from the presidency as a reporter and from all the success you have chalked in reporting on illegal mining, this president will open his doors to you. So when you make such a statement, what are you trying to prove here? Now you go on to say this. Mr. S, do you want me to play one more video? My team is saying I should play this video to respond to something, and then we will continue with Erastus right up. All right, team, thank you very much. I just got it. It's here. Okay. This is the president.
The scourge of Galamsey is receiving much attention. We've established the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, as a Central Operations Command Center coordinating the national fight against illegal mining and its associated environmental degradation. In a coordinated effort across all security agencies and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, 440 excavators have been seized. Over 1,400 arrests have been made, with suspects awaiting prosecution. Over 300 Shamfang machines have been confiscated and destroyed. Over 900 water pumps seized from illegal mining sites have been handed over to the Ministry of Agriculture for distributing to farmers for irrigation purposes. Of Ghana's 288 forest reserves, 44 had previously suffered varying degrees of destruction from illegal mining. Notably, 9 of those reserves had become no-go zones due to the presence of armed groups. Through the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and with support from the security agencies, we've successfully repossessed all 9 of these red-zoned forest reserves. However, over the weekend, the Jimira Forest Reserve and the Anria Futu section of the Offense Shelter Belt was re-invaded by illegal miners after these were handed back to the Forestry Commission. The military is currently working with NIMOS to repossess those reserves and establish a permanent presence in those liberated forest reserves to prevent re-incursion by illegal miners. 980 personnel have been recruited, trained and deployed in the western and savannah regions. They conduct daily operations on major river bodies, serving as community vanguards to ward off illegal mining activities. An additional 1,020 personnel will be recruited and deployed by the end of the year, bringing the total force to 2,000 blue water guards. The next phase will focus on dechem and restoring our water bodies to their pristine state. Feasibility studies for this critical restoration efforts are currently underway. In collaboration with the Ministry of Transport, the Ministry of Finance, GRA Customs Division, and the Ports and Harbours Authority, we've instituted a system for the proactive tracking of all imported excavators and earth
So the
moving.
president said all this. Erastus, 440 excavators. We are talking about 1,000 people arrested. Today, the CJ, the Chief Justice, Mr. Bonny, say they are thinking of putting together a tribunal quickly just for illegal mining, Galamsey issues. President said 300 champagnes. And omajini nina ebi omashino. Or say 900 water pumps. ya che ama ekuafo, ya Jeffrey illegal miners in sim, acha ama ekuafo. The president was talking about 44 forest reserves. Oma fight it to get 9 out. The president was talking about 900 water guards who are protecting water bodies. The president was talking about adding additional 1,000. What should the president do? What are you disappointed about? Unless you want to choose what was there before today. And remember, what was there before today was 8 years. We are talking about 9 months in office. Let's not be hypocrites here. Let's put the emotions aside, Mr. Erastus, and look at the issues. You are my boss, and I respect you a lot. But you got this wrong. You are too emotional about issues. You need to look at the facts. Now, when I read your write-up, when I continue with your write-up, this is what's in there. What's say? It shows that it's either the president was ill-briefed about the situation in the ground, or he was totally clueless of what happens on the ground. Or maybe he's also joining the bandwagon of deliberate spinning of falsehood in a bid to give the dog a bad name to hang it. You are basically speaking out of emotions. You are doing everything possible to disrespect the president. Yeah. That is what you are trying to do. And you know, in doing this, you are basically undermining your own report. Because I can show you report upon report where you have admitted that this government is doing better than the government that wanted to kill you. This is a government that is 8 months in power. Just 8 months. And the things that I am showing you, the things that I am playing to you, a government was in power for 8 years. We didn't see one. So what do you want? A DNA emoji. Is it an agenda against the government? We all want to fight Galamsey. We cannot fight Galamsey on speculation, disrespect, and personal or emotional feelings. No. We can only fight Galamsey by making sure the law works. How is the law going to work? We need to implement those laws and see through them. Now you go on to say this. I challenge the president to name a single licensed small-scale mining entity that is mining responsibly on the ground. That is why when the president came into office, he shut the door. He hasn't given anybody a license. You are shooting yourself in the foot. You are challenging the president to show you one small-scale miner. That is why when the president came, he said, I am not going to issue license like the way Akufo-Addo issued license like a crazy dog. I am going to vet what we have. Under MPP, Rastus, maybe you have forgotten yourself. This is what your own fake news multimedia you put out when it came to issuing of license. This is your own Akufo-Addo. The government that we voted against. Akufo-Addo issued 2,037 licenses. 2,037. 2,037. So if you are challenging the president to point out one small-scale mining company that is doing legitimate mining, there is a reason why the president stopped issuing any license from the day he came to office. He has never issued any license. And that should tell you that this president wants to protect you and protect Ghanaians. Imagine the president who issue 1,000 licenses by now. So there's been crazy leap. There's been massive approach. The willingness is there. You can't challenge the president. The president has shown you the way by stopping. He has not issued a single license. Right before January 7th, Akufo-Addo issued 102 licenses. 102 before the day before. What do you people what do you need again? Or you are still in that shock. It will take you some time. But sometimes we need to get out of the emotions. We understand the fight is not an easy fight. Reporting on Galamsey is not easy. Putting your life on the line is not a joke. But hey, so every single thing is dangerous. And until sometimes I tell people, say people like Erastus, fighting against Galamsey, they have taken the decision. So what Ghana now a journalist, now so won't to me just say leave the journalism job. Me, my address in Ghana. I don't have my address in Ghana. So I perform my journalism from America. Until you can't sit in Ghana and tell me, say, oh yeah, Bema Bragana bear journalism. That is not where I live. I live in America. So I do my journalism from America. So what Ghana now journalism now dangerous. Leave the job. Erastus Nim say dangerous. Still he's in there because it's the passion. He really wants to do it. So I keep telling people. And what you are asking of the president, he has already done it by not signing any license. Ever since there, nobody has been able to be bold to say the president is lying. John Mahama about power no, you was signing one license. Ever since there will be to me. Are you not people happy about it? Now, Mamenko, forward in your write up. I'm trying to let you understand. Sometimes I'll say nyabotre, asamba nyabotre, asamoba aya mu nyabotre. Now, okasa bebra aya amount for whom weakness. Now you see, Mr. President, and this is Erastus speaking. Mr. President, some of your party executives listen to speculation, speculative journalism. Baby, awaye journalism eduno mention names. Obiantumi obibia. Otunfo said to Tawichi wa maodie award. Mention names and stop speculation. Because I want you to mention names for John Mahama to take action. Because John Mahama ka or say so be wona abemu na say ye say oh yeah illegal mining Galamsey or be make sure say mbrani no be di or be pamon. So at this point, why are you speculating if you want Galamsey to stop? Then it means you are not ready to fight this menace. You are being like any ordinary person on the street who is speculating. Mr. President, some of your party executives and appointees who were not happy with the way they were pouring sand in their gari started a propagandist agenda to give the dog a bad name just to hang it. No. You are playing around words. If you really mean business, Erastus, if it's not about emotions, and you say, per se, okay, baby, nani pebika say, where dear, what you just wrote here, it defeats you as a journalist and all the report I'll be free on the ground, Eba Ghana for. Because baby, I'll go report to free me new hobby. Wherever you go to do the report, obi any hobby, ayawa sem na yefa. Nasa woso wako, nasa wun to me modinya. Then there's no need you going back there to report from the ground. What's the difference between you and the president? Because the president is not on the ground. You are on the ground. So if you're going to speculate, then you and the president, you don't have any right to criticize the president that he does not know what he's doing. Because the difference between you and the president at this point is that he's the president, he's up there. He cannot come down. That's why he has a minister. You are a reporter. You have the opportunity to go down there. So you need to prove to him that you have the job done. So mention the names. Especially when the president has told you when we do we conduct evidence and get to know what are you scared of unless you are not ready to do the job. You go ahead to speculate more. Today, as I write after the president's submissions and compromised position, no. You need to retract some of the statements you've made. You have to apologize to the president. You. And I keep telling you, are my boss. But I feel your emotions is driving you somewhere it's not supposed to drive you. You have put compromise in inverted commas. You are trying to protect yourself. What you cannot do. Compromise position on Galamsey, many illegal miners are meeting in Samraboy and other areas. If you know illegal miners meeting, what is stopping you from telling the president who you are saying has been compromised? What's stopping you from telling the minister that this guy is an illegal miner? This person is an illegal. So it means you know the illegal miners. So if you know the illegal miners and the president is telling Ghanaians, you know, you have first-hand information. Why are you not giving it to the president and his team? Why are you not reporting to the minister? But you are speculating. You are now becoming a danger in the fight against Galamsey. Yes. Because if there are some people at Samra Boy who are doing what? Who are gathering illegal miners and you know about it and you have names, why are you now speculating? You have to be factual. Speculative journalism has ended a long time ago. And what I am doing tonight, Obibaji said, my boss or problem. I am protecting the integrity of Erastus Asare-Donkor, who is my boss. I am protecting what he has done. I am protecting his legacy. I am protecting the fight he has been fighting till now. Maybe he's becoming too emotional. So the basics and ethics, he's missing it. I will not sit here and say everything is rosary on the ground. I know the things you go through on the ground. I know the threat on your life. But the issue here is that we cannot also sit and speculate. We cannot sit and speculate. We need to be factual enough to prove or make our case. You are putting a lot of allegations out, disrespecting the president. But from the time I started reading this, your write-up, you have not been able to factually prove anything. You are speculating. You are speculating. Speculative journalism does not come in here. Now you go on to say this. They say they have been asked to go back. They say they have been asked to go back. Who says? So right now, you are writing everything based on speculation. This is Erastus Asare-Donkor. The Erastus we all know. The Erastus who is factual, who taught me the job. Now you are reporting, you are writing and saying they say. Who are the people saying? Who are the days? They say, who and who are the they? The illegal miners you know. So you know all these illegal miners and you have not told the government, you have not filed a report, you have not made it public. You know all these people. You know all these illegal miners and you are hiding it away from us. This is terrible. They say they have been asked to go back and erode the gains we made. Let's serve a warning. Mr. President, you are repeating the mistake of the previous regime and you know the consequences. What are the mistakes? You know the mistakes the previous regime made. And you know these illegal miners. You are hiding them and keeping them and telling the president that he's making a mistake. What to akoko and now the president say Abuwa Beni. My boss, what to anoma and now the anoma the John Mahama say anoma bedi bonidin. You know the illegal miners. You even know that they are going to meet. You know that they are at Samra Boy. You know their locations. What is your job? What to John Mahama? You are making the same mistakes. The same mistakes in the same mistakes in the I was a bois na aban eku Galamsey. Now unim omo enim baby omo miti enim say illegal miners wa. Then you are saying he's making show us and let us all come out and fight it. Well, I don't think, say, Erastus, if you do a report on NDC executive who is involved in Galamsey today with video evidence, facts, and documentation, the president will sit there and say, I don't care. No, this president is not a fool. John Mahama Onyekwasia, he respects people's opinions, but that does not mean he's a foolish man that anybody can just use anything against. So, from what I am reading, you are basically part of the illegal miners. I don't know, as long, maybe as you started reporting, you have been friends with them to the point where it is becoming difficult for you to pinpoint and tell us who they are. Because me maybe I need illegal miner. Samra Boy, men ko hoda. Me wa fonane a coach Sama text. Coach Mensa, Tony Mensa. He's my father's brother. He's my uncle. I check, Coach Mensa is dead. May his soul rest in peace. Men ko Samra Boy da. I cannot tell you what is in Samra Boy, but when I walk down, you know what is there. So you are preventing the government from fighting illegal mining. With all due respect, boss, it hurts that I have to do this today. But if we all want to get things done, then we have to be realistic with the issues. You go on to say this. I find a bit lame some of your answers to questions on Galamsey. Which of the answers did the president give? That is lame. The disrespect, the emotions, the frustration. You think that president has to speak in a certain way, give you a certain answer. No, you don't control the president. You don't control the narrative. You don't control the decisions of the government. Your job is to report on the facts. And at the end of the day, if the facts you put out, nothing is done about it, you have done your job. But you cannot say that the answers the president gave that I heard, that you also heard, you cannot sit and say it was lame. What makes you say the president's answers were lame? Don't just write. Don't just write. You have built something for yourself out of frustration and emotions. Maybe there are some people you have spoken to that are not doing what they have to do. Does not mean you have to try and run down the goodwill of the president, of the government. No. This is totally wrong. This is totally wrong. You have gotten it wrong. Now, people are going to see you in a different way. Because all the successes this president has chalked in 9 months, when you compare what John Mahama Mwaya in 9 months to what 8 months, 8 years, you don't even have to write this. With all due respect to you. But at the end of the day, you were not able to tell us what should be done. Somebody asked the president about what we call what's the thing? State of emergency. And yesterday, the president answered that question. This is what the president said when he was asked about Galamsey fight, state of emergency. Listen.
Joshua from GH1.
Good evening, Mr. President. I am Joshua Kojumensa, GH1 Television and Star FM. I'm glad to hear that you personally are telling us that indeed steps have been taken to repeal LI 2462. But then I want to find out from you, the pro-environmentalist groups and then civil society, they want this declaration of a state of emergency. Where's the difficulty in declaring that state of emergency? Thank you.
I've been reluctant to implement a state of emergency in the Galamsey fight because we've not exhausted the powers we even have without a state of emergency. We have the opportunity to arrest anybody, to confiscate any such thing. There are laws for forest protection and all that give us enough powers to be able to act. Implementing a state of emergency might sound nice, but it should be the last extreme, the last resort. So for now, let's exercise all the powers we have. And if it becomes necessary for a state of emergency, then we'll look at it. It means we have to go to Parliament. The president can't just declare a state of emergency without, going to Parliament, because there's a limit to how long you can maintain that state of emergency. And so I believe that we still have leverage to continue to fight Galamsey without necessarily implementing a state of emergency. It means that we have to delineate the areas where the state of emergency is operational. And if you look at the area where Galamsey is taking place, it covers several districts of our country. And so we would do it if it becomes necessary. But for now, I think that we've given the security services enough powers to be able to deal with people who are found to be involved in Galamsey.
So which part of the president's statements that you call lame? Sometimes when we learn the grammar, we should learn the grammar well. Let's not just learn the grammar and write anyhow. Answer President Mbaye, state of emergency, or say, there's a reason why in Tia, or you're very cautious about state of emergency. And couldn't Tia, say you focus state of emergency. Now, let me break something to you. Why I will share my name, my boss Erastus. The reason why you're not Ghana for to send me. Now your TV so, radio so, Eka say Ekufuado. He needs to make sure state of emergency because of Galamsey on Tuono. It was because the government wasn't working. It did not show any will. There was no willingness to work to fight Galamsey. When people were screaming that we need state of emergency, state of emergency because of Galamsey, it was because the Ekufuado administration had stopped fighting. They didn't even start in the first place. That was the time where a sector minister, from Pomboating, at the report said, Mr. President, in your government, in your Jubilee House, where anyway, President, so people were like, this government is not willing. And if it is not willing, it does not have the will, then there should be state of emergency. So that is why people like us, John Mahama, and the whole world were saying, then Ekufuado, if you are not going to take a move, you are not going to make a move. If the will is not there, if your party people are doing it, you are standing in public defending Chairman to me, Minerals Commission akase or the illegal or the certificate or the year mining illegal into illegal mining, then it is better you call in state of emergency. You put state of emergency there. Into the state of emergency and amount for calling, it was because the government, the president, the whole MPP government, the administration, they were not willing to fight it. But John Mahama said there's the will, and he has stated things he has done. For a president to come into power 9 months on signing license, the will is there. For a president to come to power 9 months, mining our forest reserves or see or making sure say mining our forest the will is there. When the government says, "Hey, I'm establishing gold board," and that illegal miners to me and ton gold, and my foreigners and fangani and say yensuna, the person and the government is willing. So the willing is there. Why do you need what we call a state of emergency? Why do you need it? The president said, we have not even exhausted everything. The policies are tour for gold board to put out to help us retrieve our land, protect our gold, protect our vegetation. Those policies in the Krampon, measures in the Krampon, it has not been fully implemented. This government is working. So when you say the president answers were lame, where are you coming from? I can debate you anywhere, my boss. You need to be careful the way you use your words. Especially when you have dealt with international media, you have dealt with international reporters. You need to be careful the kind of words you use. You don't attach emotions to your write-ups and your reports. The person has given you clear-cut reasons why now I can't do that. Because the reason why people were calling for that was because we had a daft president, I know with Jimmy. He wasn't acting. And you know it more than I do. You were on the ground. His people were looking for you to kill you. Nobody was putting any measures across. Party people were doing Galamsey. We saw sector ministers bring out a report. The president said he's not heard about it. So what were we asking for? What did you want us to do then? But today, there's a government that is willing to do the job. So you don't just make such statement and disrespect the president that his answers were lame. I am saying you have the right to criticize the president, but you need to be respectful in your criticism. Because when you make such statement without backing it with any tangible facts, then it makes you one of those people. I know you are hurt. I know the kind of work you have put into the report against illegal mining. It's tough, yes, but hey, your reporting cannot make the laws. Your reporting can help the government, guide the government, make laws to fight illegal mining. So there's a difference between reporting and there's a difference between implementing their policies, measures to stop illegal mining. We need to understand this too. There's a distinction there. So Mahama Onya Deng, some per se call back to MPP. I'm on to radio so say during MPP time, no, not Galamsey ni ye. We want you to come and sit on radio and say that. But say, Sana Mefro, I love you and I know you love me back, no homo. But if you want to tell Ghanaians that what this government is doing so far, what this government has done so far, it is nothing, and that what the NPP were doing was better, come and tell us on TV, on Facebook, that you believe that the NPP is better fighting Galamsey than the NDC. But until you make that statement, with all due respect, say, shut up. With all due respect, but say, shut up. Because before you criticize, you do assessment. You put left and right on a scale and you assess them. You have been on the field than anybody else. To prove me wrong, tomorrow morning, go on TV, go on radio and prove to Ghanaians that the fight now against Galamsey by the NDC government is not better than the NPP one. Just do that. Do video and stop the write-up. Now, you made some... I totally disagree with him on the withdrawal of the IGP, and I don't want to... I think I've made my point. When it comes to the fight against Galamsey, John Mahama and Abanwe, they have done what they have to do, and they are doing it. You see, the first thing you do when you want to fight Galamsey, and then John Mahama, baby, na Ghana, Galamsey issues, baby, the only thing I also hear first is to stop issuing license. Finished. Now, the first thing John Mahama and say, from there, obedi president, Oma Ubia license. So it means, say, whatever we are dealing with, what mess na ikufuad muja ubono, And that is what they are fighting. Inti ama Kofi Bua mono. The fight they are fighting today. Say and ama Kofi Bua ejina TV so na o screaming na say or fighting illegal miners na say or fighting Ajia Forester. The license na ekufuado any MP before the man ni pebia. Omo ka say omo ko legitimate mining na omo turning into illegal mining no. That is what we are fighting. So for a president to tell you say me ma obia enya den Mema obia license biom until we find solution, clear path. We see, say we are making progress. You know, that alone is about 60% of the fight. So imagine, say John Mahama so buy, you know. Ono so buy no also biom no all my license. Obia ba makwaje legitimate license so ade bechina to anka yete ha. Anka forest bimpo Ghana. But this president came and said no license again. Me nyo, makunta o, me party nyo, me wafao, nobody's getting license. And till date, no reporter can tell Ghana for say John Mahama will be licensed for Ghana. 2, President say, Mati Gold Board. Gold Board nejuma diye ni say, ye gold na nipe bi afa kuti kwanso, ede eye Galamsey area kono. Gold Board ede embra ebe tutukwemwa, yebe protecti ye niya gold no. Gold ni be ye dia, Ghana form ye illegal mine no. Samra na Gold Board ede tutu no. Ebe mana ye ding, ama omu say, Galamsey kura be ya kono. Inti Gold Board ede embra ne ba, so obi ni license kura na auto Galamsey gold na osuro. It is not going to happen today. The Emrano Mudiabano, it takes time to fade out the bad ones. So the government is willing. Now, the same government say, Sa Emra Ekufu the share say, Yewura forest mu, Eyadian, Kwaye Nianko to Galamsey and Kosa Asasana. President will say, nobody, Emra say, Obien to Mura, Ediana President Mahama. Unless you people have some different idea. The president is not doing well. The president here. He was not even listening to any fool in Ghana. This guy, in less than 9 months, decisions are taken. If we go, it's not going to be smooth. It's a fact. There's a human factor to it. Gold is precious. Every single human being loves gold. There's a human factor. There's greed inside. So you're not going to get up and say 7 months, 8 months, 1 year, my fighting Galamsey. No. But you see, the more you go, the more you implement, the more you correct the mistakes. That is how you fade out illegality. Who says to say, yeah, the 9 months, that mess, and the munyama, sorry, a church from Kwasia, bro, with all due respect to my boss, Erastus, not you. I'm okay, I can in some TV so. It means some of you don't even understand what you're talking about. You people don't understand. You have no idea about fighting illegal mining. This is a whole industry. When the president was saying, household, our Ghana, almost by 6 million households, and almost rely on small scale mining. Almost 6 million. Now, and they are sorry, pa. Now, John Mahama say, Yako Parliament, Akojimra say, the state of emergency at Ashanti region, so we are and yet small scale mining who be ma. Wouldn't be Ghana. I'm asking you, Erastus. Yeah, sorry, and there. Now, end this if Parliament. Now, because state of emergency and to infant to the whole Ghana so. And it also has a time limit. Now, President, state of emergency. Now, Ochanopa, President Mahama, say, Yamfa state of emergency and to Ashanti regions because Galamsey ne cost too much. Unim be to Ashanti region. But the implementation of Gold Board, it is checking the system and fading out, taking out the bad ones. It is making it difficult for those into illegal mining, omunya gold illegally and trying to sell to foreigners. You know, Ghana will find a way to get those gold. Because let me tell you, say a armed robber will rob Bank of Ghana, akoria yesika. Na ya chino. Now the sikani be AC hospital. Ya in case or robenti or say Ghana ban ya hospital no. Ya ji sa hospital no ya ji sikari kogu Bank of Ghana ni atia edien ya tia armed robber no and no and them who say journalists for bi omti Ghana omo ye nwan omo ejimi. And a typical example is Kojo Yankson. Now listen to this cockroach. When omo jimi no did radio so listen to his argument.
For me, the most important issue was about the Gold Board. I was curious about whether or not Gold Board even knew the difference between legal and illegal gold when it comes to their purchases. The president actually admitted that, well, even if they are buying illegal gold, at least it means that the money is coming to government, rather than the previous situation before the Gold Board, which was that foreign, buyers were making all the money from the export of gold. So right in there was an admission that indeed the gold board is most likely buying Galamsey gold. That's problematic for many reasons. However, fans of the president might point to that as an example of his honesty, where he didn't attempt to, obfuscate the issue or, dance around it, but actually came out to say what it is. I mean, you could appreciate him for that, but you can't miss the fact that he has actually said the gold board buys Galamsey gold.
This is where the ignorance is. This boy could not even manage a home as Mawari or Barman and Woye. He could not manage his marriage. He wants to manage Ghana. Yensem. Kojo Yankson. Now, what was he saying? Oh, the president admitted. Say, now it is looking like Ghana, the gold board, we cannot differentiate between legal gold and illegal gold. Wait, Jimmy. Ain't you legal gold in that yanton? You see, now some accent when say British, say European, say Kazakhstan, and who cannot even keep a woman at home and say Mawaro Menwatna wants to decide and make decisions for Ghana. Ain't he, from his analogy, join news today, Jimmy for the doors too much. From Onona Jinimuno. Gold board right now when they go out there, Amude Emra air to Kwemuno, say a chi obino kuta illegal gold, and I say obiton illegal gold, not gold board in Saka, I was a gold board esheno. It's right now, gold board, Asasham Rana, we are trying to fade out illegal gold buyers and sellers, Yama exporters license, buyers license, aggregators, to gold, be also to gold, be gold, gradually we are trying to fade out Indians, Chinese, any people doing illegal mining because you want kofua, ejuma our system still, finding out. There are still people who are operating illegal mining in Ghana. Inti, kwasia we are say at this point, I was a gold board enya officer. To officer no go in the bar as we the illegal, we illegal no question Jimmy for we didn't mind. Listen to somebody like this. Look at this cockroach. Look at this cockroach. Dirty boys. And we have allowed these people to be sitting on TV. We have allowed these ignorant daft boys. So right now, he is trying to tell us, say Obi, by some means, okoto illegal gold. Now it ends up on the table of gold board. Now ebe Ghana gold. We should ban it. That's the message he's sending. Inti enuntino yengu so we onim nyansa yamanentina radio so na onya den na on discuss politics, governance. This is the foolishness. Even the international world or the international market, when it comes to cocoa, there is a law say you cannot use child labor to, at the end of the day, grow cocoa and at the end of the day, harvest cocoa and also sell cocoa. Even though the international market, they know that. They know, say, government, nations have put law in place to prevent that. But when a nation at the end of the day finds out, say, in their country, there's a particular community, and Korabi, use almost as child laborers, in cocoa farms, it does not mean so say, the laws are there, and that those people have to be dealt with. The cocoa still has to be cocoa we have to use. It's when Jimmy Nguano, the gold board, when it was set up, Embrana does not take effect today and give you results today. It takes time. As we speak, gold board is still looking at licenses, how to verify and give people license. So gold board is still in the implementation process. So how can a fool like this, cockroach way, ever say, so the president, Jimmy way, wait the radios, wait.
For me, the most important issue was about the gold board. I was curious about whether or not gold board even knew the difference between legal and illegal gold when it comes to their purchases. The president actually admitted that, well, even if they are buying illegal gold, at least it means that the money is coming to government.
But illegal gold leaving the shores of Ghana and illegal gold staying in Ghana and we making sure we are putting laws in place to make sure those actions or acts are stopped. What is wrong with it? We lost so much gold, legal and illegal, to foreigners. Today, we are finding ways to stop illegal mining. And the moment, even though we are trying to stop illegal mining, people are still doing illegal mining. So if at the end of the day, the government buying gold and on its table, an illegal gold lands on its table, what the government has to do is to make sure the laws they have put in place, it finds those people to, in the future, get them out of the system. The government does not have to take the gold and say, this gold is illegal gold, so I am banning it. When you do matem, you say Kevin Taylor, wait Jimmy. Because Ghana no, the media platforms now, no. There are so many people who are not right to sit on TV and radio to speak. I'm telling you. They don't have the intelligence to sit on TV and radio to be talking governance. Now, only say the biggest is Mamika Bincham, the Ecoso Ghana. Only say President Mahama here in media engagement. The issue is Omni scandal. What the president presented, it was perfect. They are trying to put a spin on something. It's wrong. Nyoma Jomahama kan positive things apart from Galamsey, they decided to move away from John Mahama Betina Ghana. Doom say jai. There's no doom so. This is a big leap. Because when your energy is sick, the country development is sick economically. John Mahama, as a president, emphatically said, under my watch, no doom so. This is a big statement. This is a statement that gives investors confidence. Because we say why the president gold board is. You see, they don't even know because there are no scandals. They cannot disprove the president. None of them was able to say the president lied about this or that. Nobody was able to do that. So what do they have to do? Now they have to come and put a spin on every nonsense. So let's stick to the Galamsey and lie to the people. It's Jandam. For a president to stand before a country and make this emphatic statement, say, doomsaw is done. There's no doomsaw. Now adiachi, now a whole media or Ghana, they don't see the seriousness in that statement. Because the impact of electricity, say how it affects the economy. Now look at these things. Share a story like this. Gold board. Gold board is formalizing Ghana's gold trade. As of today, gold trading is a reserve for only Ghanaians. Endra Jomahama Kacha Ghana for say Endra Okase as the president of the Republic of Ghana. Gold be our Ghana as used to be a Ghana for dia. There are so many things the president shared yesterday, but Adiachi and Wati, because they want to find something on the government. They want to spin something. There is no Jandam. Into what are we going to do now? Let us find a way and make John Mahama look bad. These are some of the positives. Listen, let me show you. John Mahama can say Bebre. They have not been able to say John Mahama boy. They know things are happening positively. Listen to the president on the positive things the government has done so far.
Reforms. For the past 8 months, we've demonstrated that we're not here to continue business as usual. We're here to reset Ghana, to restore the soul of our nation, to revive its economy, reignite the spirit of hope and possibility in every Ghanaian. Through our prudent and people-centered economic management plan, we've slashed nuisance taxes, we've rescued our power sector and averted the doomsaw crisis, which was handed over to us. We've lowered the exchange rate, eased the burden of doing business, and reduced the cost of living for the average Ghanaian. Inflation has dropped to a record 4-year low, signaling renewed macroeconomic stability. We've made the highest allocation to basic education in nearly half a decade. In health, much-needed funds have been released to fund the health insurance scheme. Medical supplies are flowing steadily. Community health delivery is being prioritized, and the Ghana Medical Trust Fund was launched to help Ghanaians bear the cost of treating chronic diseases. Only yesterday, I approved the governing board of the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, which the Honorable Minister of Health will soon inaugurate. A renewed focus on agriculture, particularly through youth-targeted interventions, irrigation, expansion, and the revitalization of the Land and Farm Bank project, is positioning Ghana to be food secure and export competitive. We've also laid the groundwork for a digital Ghana through strategic investments in science and technology and innovation through the 1 Million Coders program. These strides are not isolated. They are part of a clear, deliberate national reset that is restoring hope, creating opportunity, and ushering in an era of shared prosperity for all.
These are things John Mahama spoke about. But I'm going to say Galamsey, say gold board, because it was planned before John Mahama Bekas and Obdin kind of Jandam by. Oh, Excavator's report, because the agenda was that Yen Trani Ghana for who are the Papa John Mahama ye. John Mahama Okasa say, Oma slash taxes, news and taxes, ye free. It is the job of the media to explain to Ghana for. But when you say John Mahama cannot and they know the facts are there. John Mahama say Dumso has been averted. Ye you Dumso free ho. Yom Sidabi and the mammy can want some. You can want some Ghana for be say aban papa. John Mahama say exchange rate no low one from 17 today it's around 12. John Mahama, Mama Mienka, Joy News, and ye can say MPP egu. John Mahama said, I'm going to reduce the cost of living and the Diana boy on the market. Munko Chilechim, I'm saying the Mayanka, John Mahama, ye can, Ghana for Aban Papa, I also end this it's now so 42 years. John Mahama said, inflation are dropping all time low in our history. And the Mayanka was some, ye can, I'm for Aban Papa, John Mahama Nimyansa, Yanka was some. John Mahama said, what we call high allocation to basic education, Sika, dia shep primary, and JSSM. John Mahama said, in now by about so that this Sika Kessia Pashim, Mama Yanka was some, Yankotina radio, so Nianka Galamsey. John Mahama eka about health facilities our Ghana. Retooling all the health facilities. Omudi Sikashim. John Mahama, Memianko, Yakan, Ghana for Beunse, Aban Papa. John Mahama talked about Ghana Medical Trust Fund, Menewo, a footwa, Watia, Sikap Chidie Edem, Unya Cancer, Yebetuma Bidia show, or Santase, and the Memianka, Yakan, in Conformance, Aban Papa. This is all in 9 months. John Mahama stood on his feet for 1.5 hours explaining all these things. And Kwasiafo, what are they doing on radio? You see Galamsey, you see gold, illegal gold, and then gold. You see John Mahama, and they are stupid. Because Ghana for anybody who no kurano. Because Ghana for who no kurana, omo MPP na, a boy momo ni cocaine, elebe a TV ni radio no, and yasikamba power BM. That is what they are doing to you people. Into majority of the people know that things the government is doing, multimedia, they don't want to do it. Hey, my mentor Jandam be oh, sir, I'm Jandam we buy. Mr. I'm going back a little bit, team. I need to do this. Metro multimedia, asempa, shadi be oh, sir, I'm Jandam de beto ano endra before John Mahama Bekasano. I need to go back a little bit. Omoko asempa, and you know what they did? They went on and they started the Jandam. Omuya Jandam ni na Jandam no asenke won kofo tirimawie no. Then they tried to do cleanup of the Jandam. Makacha Ghana for say sanko for me dangerous. Kwabena Sante Obi omu dangerous. Now had there. Oh say omu this story be to abonten no. This is what they did at Asempati.
Joy News.
Yes.
Joy News uncovers massive excavator imports into Ghana with late night clearance at Tema Port.
That's why I'm going to excavator be a system.
At the 24-hour economy, I shall say port na. It's you're careful so, but we Joy News.
Yes. So 24-hour economy, they are say, but
now you see it clearly. Time at Joy News this story by they are presenting said Joy News in Kamu. Joy News. Make sure Jandam na say. Omu play with your mind. They want to clean the Kufuado. say Ekufuado did a better job in government. And you know yes how. It told you Joy News the story be a ba. Omumi no monte story no. I feel no mu story ne first. Say you see excavators repetition for
Joy News.
Yes.
Joy News uncovers massive excavator imports into Ghana with late night clearance at Tema Port.
Na so muka so ma excavator bi ama system ne mo bi.
At the 24-hour economy, I shall say port na. It's you're careful so, but we Joy News.
Yes. So 24-hour economy, I shall say, but enum
So they planted the Jandam where before John Mahama Beka said Rao. Joy News. Omu wie no, omu din kind de bonena to nipa trimu wie. Ye ma amen mo kejetia, Malata, Kumasi Market, oma downloadi. Joy News, kwame asempa, okwa asempa etubo fruit, any anubo fruit na tewo, and all can was joy for say. Omu wie na, omu senki debt no. The Jandam the tunko for team had be almost no, this is what they did.
It almost evacuation of excavators from the port of Tema to military installations.
Hey, Ozebos.
Mamin kind statement. The government of Ghana, in collaboration with the relevant security and regulatory agencies, has authorized the evacuation of all excavators from the port of Tema to designated military installations at Tema, Shai Hills, and Accra. In the Omo Kansas, the one whose story be said, amount for air clear excavators of Tema Porter, and ye illegal, they are buying him who be so Omu yi. Ediako military installations.
Ozi enye illegal.
Oh. Omu Yidiako military installations.
Oh, okay. Led by.
I don't know.
Mami was
This directive forms part of national efforts to regulate the importation of excavators and to ensure the safe custody of such equipment until they are duly cleared by their respective owners. This exercise would also facilitate the decongestion of the port to create additional capacity. All consignees and their licensed agent are hereby informed that 1. The established customs clearance procedures at the port remain in force. 2. Upon completion of clearance formalities, consignees will be directed to take delivery of the equipment from the designated military installations. 3. The cost of transporting the excavators to the military installations, together with custody charges, shall be borne strictly by the consignees. Stakeholders are kindly advised to take note of this directive and comply accordingly. The cooperation of all concerned is solicited in the interest of national security and trade facilitation. Where Gapoha and a issue.
Well, Gapoha and Tia.
Gapoha really a issue statement. I don't know when we read this statement where and Sana Oka join news there. Because Gapoa issue statement to August 22nd. And it said Joy News air report to idea we are. Why don't you read the Gapoa statement to say now say August 22nd. Gapoa didn't kind release this statement saying this is no news. Kwasia. Now I don't blame these two stupid dogs. I blame the NDC communication. Sami Jemfini and Kwasia for Mokaho. Omo na me blame omo. Adia chatro no makotra Eric J nie no to no mu jojo nkwasiafo. These people, they will destroy you people your political career. It goes to Sami Jemfi. Ono sa nkwasia battalions no mdimuchi no. Ye tumufo amonte no. Modwen say monya tumi enti ye direct mu amompese bo betie no. Sa asempa nkwasiafo we. They will use you people and disgrace you people. Odo Eric J mu ne sa nkwasiafo no maka no. NDC for sorry ani akotra asempa. NDC for sorry nkwasiafo na moja radio go do ho na moteto sa nkwasiafo mienu we these two stupid dogs. Now you as a journalist story way by and hours. So what research did you do? You could not even pick the phone to call Gapoha to ask them. You could not even ask your own reporter at Joy News to say, this story, where are your sources? Have you actually reached out to Gapoha and what have they said before we as Asempa speak on it? Joy News, Ultra Street Numa, Asempa was here, Joy was wrong. You could not tell the reporter, say, we are about to speak on this story. We are all the same entity. You are Joy News, we are Asempa, the same brand. Who did the story? Have you spoken to Gapoha? Do you have their response? But they go in there, first play the Jandam, and they come and read that notice now. Gapoha released it 22nd August. Now mo end this if one kwasiafo ni bi sorry a. Na makotena Asempa, mo jimi. San kwasiafo we, omo ya kamfo, omo bu mo end this if se mo jimi. Power na maba na ye omo ya. Kwame Asante ore no ho yare, ayese ntoburo. When kwasiafo we eye politics. Kwame Asante, Kwabena Asante, Lexus na ochi no. Sa Lexus na ochi no, wane toma no. Mumusa no. Asempa me ni pese ba be kire mo. Musa sa Lexus na ochi no, wane toma no. Kwabena Asante of Asempa. Lexus na ochi no. Mumusa sa wane ti sika toma no. On one sika no on receipt. Some foolish political idiots way. Kwabena Asante tama jankroma ambulance case ne ba no. Nije ni na okoji sika oro no. I have a video tape of him. Kwabena Asante. Oni Dominic. Any obi. Kwasia. And you people mo jiminti. Mo NDC for be a tumufo amuntie. Sami Jemfine ne battalions. Mo na munim nyansa chen obia. Mo sorry atro no akotena Asempa. I myself called Sami Jemfine and told you that place you have been going before elections. Not a phone so catch them. You know you need everybody around. Me see. Amobe yusu sem kwasiafo. I personally called him. Ono Sami Jemfine na mo kwasasem na odi no. I called him, said, this place you have been going, they will destroy your flag bearer, they will destroy your party, they will destroy your policies. Me, I have seen power change before. And with all due respect, before God and man, so NDC losing power in 42 years, I lose nothing. Me, my kids, at least I gave back to them in America. So help to me achieve your dream. I am good. I have no problems. But mum mubino ye tumufu amonte. Hwankwasiade no mote woye. Hwankwasiade no mote radio no so ye. Na omo dada nipa in the name say a journalist. Omo dada nipa. Before no mo kasa asem na statement no obi phone so. The statement was on his phone. Into me first video now. Ubon say ekuta obi na statement on the phone so.
Joy News.
Yes.
Joy News. That's your portal. It's you're careful so. But we're Joy News.
Yes. So 24-hour economy they are say but
Joy News.
You see, it was on his phone. And I pray to Joy News. Joy News. And I pray to they have talked about this. They have planned this. Yanko said John Mahama or Baba media encounter. We know John Mahama they are fortified, is intelligent. On Tisa Kwasia at Chidiana Nedinichino. So what we have to do is that let's destroy everything. San Kwasia for me mu miracle. Me mbu Kwasia for you because we won't branch me. I am being honest on this my platform. San Kwasia for we obianya journalism papanche me. What I have achieved in journalism, none of these fools have achieved it. And whatever they are living on now is through politics. San Kwasia for we. And it's na mi busa Kwabena Asante. Say, San Lexus na uchino. Wafa driver na uchino no. The pay na ejin man Asempa. I don't know the toy na. He should die me na mention na there. E you fool we mu na na Ghana so Kwasia form so. I'll be right back. You be jam. Alaji farmer omo no mo jimi dodo. You are so live on Loud Talents TV. My name is Kevin Ekoberu Taylor. As far as I am here, Jandam is dead. Obia needs space. Let's do clean journalism. Let's speak the truth. Let's use the facts. And unkwa obia hombetono. Na samoya maju insamo de Jandam ebet na Ghana. Me di mu atem na ma correct mo. Now these are some of the things when it comes to a year on state prosecution in Sama Jomahama Khan Endra. Media houses or more Ghana. Imagine say, person better no creno. In Sambia, Jomahama, Eka, Efa security, prosecution, any other than Nebini, Mumia Gotia Jomahama, way, any in Sama or Kafa, state prosecution home.
My friends, I understand that public accountability and the recovery of looted state resources are at the top of your expectations from my government. And let me assure you, my fellow citizens, that we've not wavered in our commitment for even a moment. Neither have we been complacent. What you are witnessing is not inaction, it is our steadfast adherence to due diligence, due process, and fairness in the pursuit of justice. Yes, our insistence on doing things the right way may afford those who have looted this country some temporary relief, but let me be clear, it will not grant them permanent escape. Across multiple fronts, active pursuits and prosecutions are well underway under the Operation Recover or the Loot. Over 200 cases are under active investigation, with about 80 people interrogated so far. Several prosecutions have begun, progressing steadily and remaining firmly on course. In the Republic versus Edubuan and 3 others, the state has submitted witness statements together with all other documents, and trial has commenced. And the first of 3 prosecution witnesses have been called and have been cross-examined by counsel for the accused person. With the SkyTrain case, for instance, the prosecutors have secured a trial date, as all preliminary matters have been concluded and the trial is set to commence. For the National Service Authority case, due to its expansive nature, charges have been drafted and will be filed as soon as the legal year begins against the following person: the Republic versus Osei Sibe, the Republic versus Eric Nyaku, the Republic versus Gifty Owari. Also for the National Cathedral, we are awaiting a forensic audit from the Auditor General. Additionally, charges have been drafted and are ready for filing in the case of Republic versus Wuntumi and Akuntamaini. The Economic and Organized Crime Office, IOCO, is finalizing its report with respect to Exim Bank transactions. Dockets are in preparation for the buffer stock case and the drip equipment case. Investigations are ongoing into the African Cup of Nations case, the March Set case, and approximately 20 other cases currently. Let me be clear, every single case of corruption that needs to be investigated is being looked into. And once evidence is found to ground the prosecution, that will happen and happen swiftly. Looking within, we launched a code of conduct for public officials with an insistence on strict...
President take us and run. Jama we nyina media for it to man kan ho asem kwasiafo omo bese Ghana for be hu de eko. President say memo obi abemumbu ora na ode bae na edwumadi omudi na ekoso. Na opeso sha Ghana for bo say eye omo a omo gina eye den eye emra no a ye toto oma no a omo modi oma no girim omo di esika no Ghana mine through the Attorney General's office no emrano eye adwuma ma obi anya na adwene se bibia nkoso sebio se obi fa edua na onfa mbowa menka so onfa mbowo na Ghana fo bebre enwinwi adentina Bahama ba ya yenche obi antum o say wey a political prosecution on pese na aban no ededien eye gidigidi ebe bibia sebio nipa bi abokro no na omafa tokro madwane omo ye no sene eye se omofa mra kwan so na sebio okasei o say cases in Kwabaya 200 at the table so mudi hu adwuma 200 cases. Now all cannot see Nipankwa edu watche eye 80 and a buying the security agencies Yoko CID Attorney General mo afro mo atoto omano they have been interrogated Nipa edu watche 80. Now I see 80 people any afro mo yatoto omano President take us and run or see case a efa edubu ahemo no sa case no sesia no e wo court ɛyɛ attorney general kana asɛm ɛma sebio ɔmo a yɛtoto ɔmo no court ni nyina no attorney general kora afrɛ adansefoɔ ɛma ɛyɛ atachia ɛne ne school boys no so ɔmo so afrɛ adansefoɔ a saa asɛm no ɛwɔ court sisi a ɔmo di president saka bibi ɔse sky train ɛyɛ professor Akumfi mu asɛm no ɛno so yɛ asɛm a ɛwɔ court sisi a ɔmo prepare document a ɔmo bɛgyina anim ama sebio ɔmo a ɔmo di saa bɔne no Ghana ɛne ɔmo di President kasa no ɔse ɛba bibi te sɛ national service scandal ɛbaayɛ ɛyɛ ɛfa ɛyɛ ɔsɛe sibe ɛne obi te sɛ Eric Nyako ɛne girl akyekyedeɛ no a yɛfrɛ no gift ɔware no ɔse case no yɛ case bi a sɛbio court ɛbɛbie ɛyɛ ɛnkyɛ court bɛsa bɛtena ase ɛwɔ afi a ɛbɛdi anim yi ba afi wɔ mɛtena ase yɛfrɛ no the court year ɔse court ɛbɛsa atena ase yɛbɛbie bɛyɛ bosom yɛdi anim yi court tena ase a gift aware ne national service asɛm no ɔmo de bɛwura court ama yɛastate edi saa asɛm no president ne kasa ɔse wɔn nyinaa ɛkɔ so president ne kasa no ɔse ɛyɛ national cathedral saa asɛm no attorney general gyina so dendenden a ɔmo yɛ forensic auditor ɔmo wi a ɔmo di sika wɔ national cathedral mu no yɛde ɔmo pa ɛbɛso ɔmo pa de ɔmo akɔgyina court mɛma obiara bɛmu mbu attorney general no ɛne ɛyɛ yoko mu ɛne CID office no ɔmo nya abotrɛ ɛpensɛmpensɛm mu make sure sɛ obiara mmara no bɛsɔ de pa bia no saa nipa no ɛwɔ sɛ mmara ɛne ne di ɔmo sa president saka sa ɔse wontumi ɔgye sika ɛwɔ Exim Bank sɛ ɔde kɔ weefuo $50 million wedi wontumi ensa akɔyɛ galamsey ne nyinaa no ɛyɛ yoko agyegye saa nsɛm no nyinaa kekesiani na court bia wontumi so asɛm no ɛyɛ government of Ghana attorney general enso ɛde bɛwura court na chairman wontumi ɔno so ɔne Ghana ban ɛwura court ɔse buffer stock enso krono bi kɔ so wɔ hɔ a buffer stock no ɛno so asɛm no ɔmo de bɛkɔ ɛyɛ court a ɔmo ayɛ ho nkrataa nyina wie African Cup ɛyɛ deɛ Africa Cup yɛ ɔmo bɔ no nansen yɛfrɛ no Mr. P, Mr. S, what's the name? The AU Cup, Mr. S, Mr. What, how do they call it? I'm organizing on Legon. I'm a friend saying, sir, African Cup, I'm organizing. Mr. S, Mr. P. I also the organizing and seeing organi and also the air kokota nipa bi omudi sika mokai sa event no na bedi etuo yire enya $17 million to cook food for 17 days 17 million to 17 days and also also ensem wo ho a the former sportsmen all African games thank you very much all African games and African Cup all African games no be the nansen no a bedi etuo yire nya 17 million to 17 days rice no and also omo ye ho krata omo de quarter former sports minister no ono we chuku nkofo pa waka nkofo gum and also ombedi ho dwuma president Tikazo say mokai mat set scandal bi na ba under napo napo bluegrass company bia napo kofo mo ba ya omde mat set scandal sika bi omobedi no o se sa asem no aban air process de akokot na omudi sa adwiri mu no sa nkofo ni nyina no at the end of the day no aban e de omakogina air court me ya twoma so na president Tikazo say 20 other cases attorney general good table sisi a odi hudwuma inti masa president so obi anya abotre afei na we this 9 months power ban mu apeso amanfo say atwoma so inti se wotie president no na wo hwe adwuma a waya a wadwere be wo say president no watena so 3 years eno na surprise nipa bebre almost share the successor NDC Abaya Choke John Mahama leadership for 9 months. Nyoma Omaye no. Ayana ni pebiji said John Mahama tena ben mu 3 years. And so 9 months pe. Technically 8 months. John Mahama se munya botre. Obia I was say ya chini tum ewo Ghana mrem a wedi esika no. Paul Adomo chimwa they under investigations. OSP mu nyina sanko fori nyina bedem. Into obia nya botre na omunya botre ma attorney general embo adwuma. Mr. P Mr. S, you have another video for me. Mr. President Eka send me for hate speech. Hate speech.
Bureau now has the technology to use your IP number and find you wherever you are. So I'm sending a signal to Ghanaians that we can find you those doing those hate speech and things. We'll use your IP number, we'll trace you. And when we trace you, we'll deal with you under the criminal code for inciting violence and disturbance of the peace. But I believe that beyond that, we must start making regulation for this new media because it's unregulated. And so anybody just takes a phone and says, oh, this plane crash, I wish that so and so had been the one in the helicopter and had died, and dwarfs have eaten him in the forest. I mean, why would you say something like that? And so we need regulation for that new emerging media. But in the meantime, the National Signals Bureau has been given the full authority to track down people who do that kind of thing and bring them to be sanctioned under the criminal code.
President Akasa, we argument be enim. Or say, we are Ghana ni. It does not matter where you are. Say, why are you say, what the hate speech, everything social media, everything TV so. On the also or cultural, Sebio and the Wama Obino through the National Signal Bureau, their full authority to look into the system. Obia wa na adwene say, obey using the platform, the social media platform, to incite tribe against tribe, incite people against people, to hate, to cause some kind of mayhem, chaos through hate speech. Mr. President say, on the waka, or say on the 2 million ama NSC. Communication Ministry so air draft emra ye de beto ho enti president de also aka wa wo so ye bema no medie so also ye bema te se me call na so person ye te Kevin obetumi I said Kevin e obeso ye se Kevin also unya evidence de ka wa asem bia ho so wo say wo ye bema president naka enti we de ye bie floodgate no kone koye me say Muna muti social media ye na Kevin Taylor ye no obi anya no hwe na Kevin Taylor me see ye hwese mahama be obibia Kevin Taylor ye ne tama na NPP was na Kevin Taylor di atem ne na me see se Kevin Taylor ye na so Kevin Taylor ya nchena ntum Kevin Taylor ba Ghana ya nchena ntum na so be ya President Mahama say emra no wo ho nti wa opese o ye be ma na opese o ye no o ye oba ye it does not matter where you are you can do it Ekrobia Ghana embassy wo ho you can do it. 80 president de ompa obi a chew omfa ne nsanto ne nsayem oseme nka nkire wo say so oye bema na so so weni den na asem na oka no wo so de obetuma ya abro so a opeso ka chew say ewiase bebia Ghana embassy wo ho na Ghana so Ghana wo ho enti wo de ye enti we de se Kevin Taylor ye bia wo so ye ne nhwe try your luck ne nhwe se Kevin Taylor ye yanche no ena Kevin Taylor didi etufu atam ena Kevin Taylor didi kofu atam ena Kevin Taylor didi mwaka ni nyina manasi yate wo so didi etufu atam na so didi kofu atam didi mahama atam na kekansam na ye hate speech ne fato abonte ne yenhwe try your luck ne yenhwe try your luck ne yenhwe mesremo try your luck ne de obi atumi tubi enti try your luck ne yenhwe try your luck so wo so de obetuma edi balu kase na because me too try your luck ne di balu kase ne mehu amana pai wo ye de try your luck na ba Inti wusu hu nianhwe so obedi balu kese na to nianhwe. Inti president wampa ucho. O si so ye bema o yo ba. Na se obese emra no wundi so. O si Kevin Taylor ye nti ube ya o si ye. But o si me remind you say e kuro bia nipa wo ma Ghana embassy wo bia Ghana ni wo ho bia no embassy wo ho. Inti de it does not matter where you are. O de obetima tena Uzbekistan na anaso obetima tena Ghana no we use Uzbekistan IP. Also de opaye. President say, Udia upa tina Ghana ne use a Kazakhstan IP. Ne faye hate speech or social media. Or so ya bema ye. Say Kevin Taylor ya also ye. Nyenhwe. Say try your luck no. Say yen nyina to be di balloon kase say be di balloon ketwa. Because try your luck in the balloon edoso. Balloon ye nkete balloon bi o eso. Balloon bi me de me di balloon kase na mapai no. Wo so ko di balloon kase nyenhwe. Into try your luck no President Mahama so be an try the luck. Na try ni anhwe this year akpalu ewie ya na eyi no na bodwe kohwe nanim ai so fui akpalu mon kwasiafo am ti social media mo keka kasa kwasiakasa muni ebusuafo mpa ene ye che wo ma beyiu girls ya ye koche omutu omu hu fi mienu yi unwo ba ko maame ho abrewa maame a onika pre ohieni ese go hwe mobile money so company so na ne bati kumase ne hu fie use no say oye MPP ni ene ache na hyemu ene ye yi o ma wo hu omobusuafo 90% of nkwara am social media e ka say ye de say Kevin Taylor kaye me so mu nyina hiafo ma na we de try your luck no ato ye de balloon ni nyina abebo nkete wom u fili ari kase ne enhwe try your luck ne enhwe ti President Mahama say try your luck wo de change IP na try your luck ne enhwe Odia tina Ghana na change wa IP ni ko Kazakhstan na try your luck na say balloon be locate wa. It is simple as that. Who the Ghana? Because all MPP, you want to peddle this kind of hate speech, no problem. You want to put on social media hate speech, no problem. Would you try your luck? Never Kazakhstan IP, yeah. Near her say Kazakhstan IP never find out and I say find out. Or they wouldn't the bar. Now, team, let me go through some of the positives. Yate, I have about 23 minutes to end tonight's show. Or say Kevin Taylor intimacy maybe. Now the MPP the mo Jimmy. Ultimately MPP communicator penyini. Now TV so what did you do to Kevin Taylor? You had kwasia. Ko kan asem na party mra power. And what did you do? I said me na me control party no. I said me na me president. Na Kevin Taylor me sister Kevin Taylor yeah. Oso ye biye. Kevin Taylor me ye. There was never a day I'm here show me kata me. I never hid behind any TikTok account. I did everything with my face. And I came to Ghana with my face. Into the Kevin Taylor yebia. Also yebi. Try your luck in abano. President Aka. Or say mrana da ho. NSA4. Yamo to me. And a communication ministry so the mraba into try your luck. Oh, the America. I put them in territory. There that say. Adebi ewo wiasia ana interesting. So who pekusie etwaniti. Na se kusie no tata kusie na kusie no kwa na osabe wura wo dem a you don't act, you don't react, you don't make noise. Me say so wo pe kusie twaniti na wonam wura mu ehwehwe kusie na odo ne nanam wura nim open na pini ne down na kusie na fa na kusie no onante ya na obewura wo dem a yemfa gidigidi wura dan nim ubie pono no kakra bi na wo wura mu aka tumtwe sa na ebesi obanyansafo ebu ne be me say sa wo tata akusie na wo pekusie ne twaneti na wuram no fa no wura na wo tata akusie no open na pin ne down wo pe bibi dia afenese no ukuta sekan wura na kusie no onina wura no mu ana obepie wo territory owura wo dem a wa wo dem o na okowura wo dem a unim se watoto untokura mu nyina unim se the only exit for kusie do sa gate no na wugina ntu bia na kwa no wuram no akato na aka woni kusie do territory nim ehona na bo se kusie nkasa because kusie no oye king easy wo dem enti se kusie raw territory you don't act, you don't speak, you wait, you time, you take your time, you take care of it. It is simple as that. Now as a messi now my mention David this is a statement I was say you know is serious. If you have a straight government to allocate 1 billion to phase out double track system into Aban say and the Jomahama Bino 1 billion at double track no and na omode ba be ye free ho totally so far omo yi be free wa aka krebi na omo wie double track ni nyina ma school for nyina ko school the same time enti Haruna Idris oye education minister on hweso no o say aban John Mahama aban 1 billion ato double track no omo de be ye free ho ni nyina ne say ye de ba be see more schools ni bia ka ho eye free SHS e-blocks na achechede ne nkwasiafo no entumi ensi bia ka ho mbie mu no omo ka so omo be see 350 omo wie aban 8 years omo si school ba akokora. And the NDC Aban say schools now musi no mwe no buja no ho no omu be finish ni nyina abiem into double track no omu be ye free ho Aban 1 billion Ghana cedis sa sika no na Haruna Idris no education ministry no omu de be fa so double track free ho into enche bia enkora ni nyina be go school the same day no mama kwan the same day no ma try exam the same day no mu nyina be feel the same day into abasa no krampa galamsey kura na so beti. Yes, because there's a lot of young people are. Oma kram papa na oma mama say omu ko school, omu green light, omu blue light, omu ni campus, omu ye galamsey. Right now, say double track ni free wa. Unya akwaku ekodufia. Untumi kancha papa say wo green light. Inti that is also another way krampa Abine is going to try and take out the young kids who are now into illegal mining off the street. Inti there are so many ways to stop illegal mining. There are so many young people are. Omugu crisis here. Omu mama na papa mje so mu school. And so omu ya gala because I will follow to me track school no. Obama kwan na say also moko also mutena fia na say also mutena school and then no aban say or the 1 billion eba be infrastructure nim ebe toto nyoma ama double track na free ho nti eba saa na eye mbaba wa omobo jantra e wo e de asankore no saa nkora na nyina ko school a ne ma me nim say abena pokua ekọ Thursday and waba Friday a also mu nyina bedru Friday untumi nka kire me say abena ama kwan o the other who was school nti it is going to eliminate a lot of things and it's na aban we eye bibia say double track no obeye free o mama yem fendi agro we eye NDC about 42 years bibia be gina na akwan so it's very very important. Now we see another story me per say and on our side as the minority we are going through some turbulence. We came in with 88 members, but the majority side will not let us have peace. So now we are back to mighty 87. Afenyoma can say, on the side minority ne die enkoyi na omo ba no mkuta 88 ena ntina na first na okem sakraman. Sisi ani akwa kutia ba no 88 this what aba 87. Nanso nyame wo ho. Yeah, there you go. MPP for the omajimi o. MPP as a political party, they are very foolish. And anytime I say they are foolish, I am not enyame because every single day they prove to you say they are foolish. There is a political party, almost 87 MPs, 87. Their party as a political party, the leadership of almost parliament, parliamentarians in Pongunyansa say, Sankofo no mudi owenim in power, no more parliament, no. No mudi owenim di omo opposition in parliament. They are still keeping Afenyo Markin, and they expect to say Afenyo Markin will lead them to come and get 190 votes, MPs. And with Jimmy, any serious party, Afenyo Markin, any sa APJ mun come pamu omo for leadership, long time, because Afenyo. So all kind the terminal report and I send a track record and the politics more on any the only majority leader or to me the party for opposition omuluzi seats from 137 to 87 after your marking. That is his political record. He cannot run away from it. He is the first majority leader or to be leading a whole majority side from 137 to 87. Now, more MPP must stand that way. In Ghana politics, no, it will always remember Afenyo Markin as the worst leader in parliament. Okay, the worst parliamentary leader on the side of the NPP. It is the NPP for Nimunyansa. And Kasaji Mijiwe, Komo Yine Flip, a new data. They would have put a new face. Let me tell you, when the NDC wanted power, it was a very difficult pill to swallow. At a point, they had to do something. Not because Haruna Idrisu is not a good leader. Not because Muntaka is not good. Not because the NDC didn't know what they were doing. It was because they needed the NDC to have a new face in parliament. A new face that will symbolize something. A new face that will send a message to the people of Ghana. A new face that will show preparedness. It does not mean to say, time NDC for Haruna Idrisu, Haruna Idrisu is bad. Haruna Idrisu is corrupt. No, it is strategic. Sometimes, when a team is bad, you don't necessarily have to sit there and say, where they also bow. Strategically, you are like you're a good player, but sit on the bench. Afenyo Markin is a bad communicator. Afenyo Markin brought this party from 137 to 87. Madam Nefana PJ na ni 12 dwene no. Ono ote parliament no ne nananom na opre ejapade ma omu. The leadership of the NPP, Sankomuni Munyansa, and the day they lost power because the honest truth is, NPP for AE or say Chemensa, Omo de Afenyo Markin Besho. What was the reason? The reason was that Oseme Chemensa, he wasn't going to, he wasn't going to sustain the numbers. In Tomuka say, you're 137. We want to get more seats. In Tianya Day, Yen Chenji or say Chairman Sanyamfa Wimra. It is a Chairman or say Chairman Sabons, most of our born with Jimmy. Namakofo Akwawe Aba say, you don't want the hung parliament. You want to add more numbers to your numbers in parliament. Now your re-election numbers about 87. Why are you still keeping this joker? Why are you still keeping this joker in parliament? Say he's your leader. He lacks no sense. He cannot communicate. He can't dialogue. He's full of himself, very selfish. An individual who does not take anybody's advice. He makes mistakes and sit in the mistakes, shit in the mistakes, sit in the mistakes, and still think he's intelligent. This is a guy who brings nothing to the table. He being at the front of the NPP does not attract right-thinking, honest, neutral people. No. Because this guy's track record is terrible. And yeah, if you're making a Johnny Court, CJ Tokonu, I was Supreme Court over in 24 hours, Tokonu sided with him. These are some of the things he did that Ghana for were like, you are stupid. You cannot take our judiciary for granted. Into the NPP losing elections, the NPP going out of power, this guy, the little month now or spending as the majority leader in parliament, and then they say party to cry. The party wasn't attractive because Akwawe's actions and utterances, and the gestures and trying to use the courts to overtake the power of the legislature, it made Ghanaians understand that this guy is not the right guy to lead that party. You can see clearly that this guy is just daft. He feels he knows everything, arrogant. Even in opposition, he was still isolating seats. A very selfish leader. He believed to say there are some group of people in the party he has to align himself with. This is a guy who is the lawyer of Kennedy Japan and also a financier of Baumia. How can he lead the party? This guy cannot lead a political party to win power. Into 87, it is going to drop. Now, the honest truth is, Moko Akwetiano, a dear impact pa na Afenyo Markin as the leader of the minority made when he went there. What impact did he make? Kwasi Ampenyi sa akọ kotiti eye obi party posters. He's not ripe to lead. He's a backbencher who has to be screaming and making noise. They be and say, shut up. This guy cannot compose himself and lead. This is a guy who slapped a police officer in uniform. He actually punched a police officer in uniform. This guy is not law abiding. This guy has done everything. Which are and leader. What makes this guy a leader? A dear example now, Setiama Ghana. He slapped a policeman who's supposed to protect him as a lawmaker. This guy. We sit in that country and we allow fools to lead fools. And it's an MPP na say, as much as I don't like Oseche Mensa Bonsu, Nyansa Edasa Jimin in the team, Akwa we been done the team. As much as Oseche Mensa, I don't like him. Or a tribal bigot, another very selfish individual. No, Nyansa done the team idea politics. No, Jimmy Afenyo, it been done the team, and Afenyo cannot maneuver his way. You think Afenyo Markin can convince anybody on the other side to do his bidding? The only thing he can do is to say, I'll give you money. And when that fails, that's all. When it fails, that's all. So why should a political party that is trying to find itself, that is trying to rebrand itself, that is trying to tell the people that we are not who we used to be, we are a different breed, our face needs to change, why should that political party still have such a careless, callous, arrogant individual leading them in parliament? The party is still the same. Nothing has changed about the NPP in parliament. The face of the party is terrible. Inti Nyansanibia or Ghana Biano will never sit and say, I want Afenyo Markin and give his colleagues power. No, nobody will do that. We're Jimmy Bruta, and these are people we're sitting Ghana. Now Obia or lawmaker, what's in inside Ediabo police in the Kwasiawe Mimimbuno. He's a fool. He's a fool because what's in inside police in Yasum. So Afenyo Markin is a fool who is not supposed to be in parliament. He can take me to any court. A fool like this stretched his hand to hit a law officer, a police officer in uniform. Or bonasum. Kwasia we say or to parliament or yemra. A Krobian called the jail. A Krobia ye serious and Kwasia we called the jail. Yeni so nkwasi asem so the CID boss no to no or sorry why no nice girl and nkwasi asem no so this guy is supposed to be standing trial. And the last time I told you the CID boss, as much as I respect you, this fool needs to stand trial, because if you fail to put this guy before court, then it defeats the purpose of the Ghana Police Service. Say an institution that is independent and an institution that we can respect. Say protect Ghana for. If the CID boss, you are not able to prosecute this guy, put him before court, then you sitting there, you don't need to sit there. You need to walk out and go sit home, because the Embra is not supposed to be selective. The law is supposed to apply irrespective of which fool is standing before him or her. So the law is not selective. In Kwasiawe, he actually slapped a police officer. So what are you doing? And this guy needs to face the law. We are not playing again. Oh. We are not fooling again. Oh. When adults fool, we will tell them in their face they are fooling. So CID boss, with all due respect, do not entertain this foolishness. I respect you a lot. I've given you that room, and you told us that investigations are ongoing. We want to know what has happened to that investigations. A lawmaker breaking the law. A lawmaker punching a police officer in the face. A lawmaker in parliament who is leading a group of lawmakers punches a police officer and nothing is happening. Under John Mahama, under Yohonu, under CID boss, what kind of country are we running? And then you to us, what is going on? If I get the opportunity to meet the president, I'll say, Mr. President, you cannot have a lawmaker punch a police officer and tell me you think about the police. Prove to me that you think about the police. The CID boss needs to take this over. He needs to be prosecuted. We need to get to the bottom of this. You cannot tell me you are fighting corruption. Mr. President, you cannot tell me you want to retool the police. You want to help the Ghana Police Service. You want to make the state agency strong. And then a lawmaker punches a police officer and we sit in Ghana and we are speaking grammar. This guy needs to face the law. I have 5 minutes to end tonight's show. The law is the law. Now, won to me, and so yase masloko for akonifie, won to me efa eye masloko for kam yunu, masloko for akoje omade. Me say masloko for say eye won to me okase nyina okoba nyina sana wafa masloko for kam yunu sinifie. Me na okase won to me say wi a masloko for kam and the masloko for so mon saka kan. E won to me die. Bibia ko wu ebekra o sorry na o hye Vietnam for Lacoste bi ne nsa na beduru ha na ne kon ne deda ha se de bia onya ne ho Lacoste show de bia se ono na osoa bidie de se bibia ko wu na bekra wu ntumi. Now another story ni Cecilia Dapa and the menoka say yes Cecilia Dapa Former Sanitation Minister Cecilia Dapa invited to CID headquarters to answer questions on oral. Intiasi oral for afre Cecilia Dapa so ombe answer questions bi. Cecilia Dapa de bebia Cecilia go bia corruption go. Why is it interplast? Where everywhere water go, interplast go. Cecilia Dapa on the corruption de bia obu di atrentwie. Cecilia Dapa abrowa besiaba or sorry, I debi only corruption AD in tentenwa. Only corruption AD eye kwa debi. Only corruption AD eye mami odende. Anywhere corruption go, Cecilia Dapa go. Anywhere water go, interplast go. Cecilia Dapa ya safre no. Yesi ora for se ombra. Questions bi ho be ya no. Ghana any Accra aye fin na mami we. Ghana ne Accra aye fin and we are trying to make sure we clean Ghana no. Nana do dankwe kufuado aye ne fu se Anyanya nchire ebeka chire say he will make Accra the cleanest city in Africa. Ne fu se side drum. Ebeka sankwa say no omutam sika no mudi ye Cecilia Dapa and ye friend say omra na omba dwudwam na yehu eye the course into oral for atom nsa afre Cecilia Dapa say omedwudwam. Anywhere Cecilia Dapa go the corruption go. Everywhere water go interplast go. Cecilia Dapa no corruption mame. All right, now this is another story. When you chat for, I got 4 minutes near upon. Aboziga kasa. And Baumia say, Mahamudu one eye atasa ho. Atasa ne Mahamudu we nyom ho abotra Kennedy ne Mahamudu we nyom ho abotra. Na last time mebusa say Mahamudu Bawumia hwana na pam ne ntade ma no. Bawumia aya tell ani be ne pam ntade ma no because minim endo say me hu say oshatade be say chef for atade o say minim say shirt no e three-quarter so say e for top o aya na hwana na pam Bawumia ntade tell ani be ne pam Bawumia ntade ma no. Hwana ya pam akwawe hwana na pam Bawumia ntade ma no because adibi obehye be size boom on shade ma ne da no ho da say na funu de dia ye ntrew say die yo say debi obehu Bawumia bia I say I saw a clerk debi obehu na say Pentecost clerk be as I say the one born clerk Summary o sorry I know pam 100 million atade ahye apa wa srem wa pa abesu turum ne nam Ghana atwi wanim o sorry no wa ma wukunu wa dress clerk Pentecost for clerk ne nam Ghana din kwase wan e pam akọ ntade man we shirt na say long sleeves na say chef for ntade yedu nukotodwe inti na ye mejana na say some America chire nkofo so we dem pimpam bibi man o ejimijimi minti ase because se tailor ni ne ba ebe susun edi tape ton ho e measure menya sure say because long sleeves na no yi ni na ebe tra ne nsa inti de bia ase una say Pentecost clerk I just say na samre into uton to man uto bi man na enya na samre utela ni nti ontumi pam bibi ma akoi de bia no wa address de okoji tankers for sika bibi basa wonwan minim se ene monto ses se the food intra na se den ana sibi onantini ntra the step me pa I don't have me pa because de bia me Bawumia bia no I said there's something off. Yasi kusibuati ntela ne pamata de ma no na kusibuati onemo asa chechede kusibuati asa pojireni enu ntira yasi kusibuati ntela ni ne pamata de ma Bawumia na hwe kusibuati ne hwe Bawumia but kusibuati why say Malcolm standing fan why koti ro gina ho on so come Malcolm a omo toshiba standing fan bi ho I say kusibuati ai the cathedral na mama menjidwom ha ne empon me wo be 2 minutes bi ne medwudwom wedwa intiminjai obodam. Now look at this. Aya abozege last hour mummy fan wo mni empon we de bending. It was not my fault the NPP lost the 2024 elections. This is clearly stated in both the Mike Okwe and Che Mensa Bunsu report. Bawumia say, unu be organize as organa santimemu. Me catch that say. MPP mu obi apeso Jimmy kasa okana santime mu obi apeso Jimmy wo MPP mu bia e kan kwase akasa edada nipa no asantime mu no koka no oh so okano or say it is clearly stated in both the Mike Okwe report and Che Mensa report onim say omo ogina mo nimu asante adanse asokwa e kasa omo nkenkan me say who MPP ni a we Jimmy osaya asantini a na who wo what Cobra 3 a mantam MPP ni no na sa MPP no one man tam na obetima pepa de 2 bi ni edi MPP ni a wejimi a osaya santini me say o bebi okojina ka asem no because odim say omo gina nanim delegate na omo asantime mu no omo ntumi nkan en tronken kan musa dan kwa aka omo giru DSS na omo wie enti o say me enya me photo and you lose elections no enso no ka kire Ghana for say ono ne policies here dey call election nim ono na ye manifesto or dey call election nim ono na no asem na Ghana for also mutie to abama no o lose election na o ka kire mo say enya the fault na en why fault asimesi etro manifesto be kan manifesto be 3 hours say nyanse da ne trimunie na no asem nie mo first year ne ma no mo nhwe ho na mo ma no na nim nyansa yenti na no asem ye ntoma no na nipa de tie wa no asem ye no mu so wajimi no man to ama wo afere o ka kire say enya wo fault enti na mo lose election na en why na fault enya fault. It on who steady go for we maka kire wo say Bawumia omumbu asantifo no sa asem we okay oduru ho a ontumi kan wo ontumi kan kira wonafo I want to know can it is not my fault. Oh, to one guy say, oh, please. You say, oh, okay. Also, I am sorry. My brother, I know you are talking. When we read the report, in fact, our constituency chairman brought the report. What we find out that it was your fault. We, the Voltarians, we can read and we can write. And when a kind report, they boost our questions. 10 in the back in kind, where no one can kind into a good answer to quack. Who kind report? Why never kind report? Mr. MPP near with Jimmy. Our sire Eddie Asantinia, Sabio, Una Mantam Nibo Daimu, Ono wa Mantam no Deja Wano. Because San MPP Nina or ya Santinia was a Jimino. So Jana, Obetmat to be a D, a bin about me at the Yomono. We ja, hey, can we tell her? Yantiasia Ubo down. Or Chinami Jim, Yabajum, Amagana phone no Crano. Abuache, I'll see you tomorrow. Egigim.
Yo! We are best fishermen. No answer mine. I watch it. It was for Belgium. It was Belgium. It was two Belgium. Why you Why round what? Why you Why round what? Why you Why round what? Why you Super Why round what? It was for Belgium. It was Belgium. It was two Belgium. Why you Why round what? 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 Every papa no, what one is the motto? 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 Why round what? Why you Why round what? I want it. Original. I will move for Belgium. I want me to Belgium. Where you mind? Don't crumba.